No pleasure to be here.
No.
The pleasure is all mine.
It's and I remember the day you performed this song at the Ghana Music Awards.
Oh, you mean the 2017?
2017
right?
edition.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, the auditorium came on fire.
Wow.
The auditorium came on fire, and I could see all the young acts at the time, from the Sarkodie to Kimbra. Everybody was on their feet.
Wow.
How did it make you feel?
Well, you see, when I was performing, I wasn't seeing anything.
Yeah.
I was just actually concentrating on the band, the sound, the notes, the choreography. Those were the things I was focusing on. Until later, I saw the clip and said, "Wow!" I saw the auditorium, the whole auditorium was on fire.
It was on fire.
Well, felt good. Felt so good. Felt so good.
So, I mean, I don't know how it feels like. I have never been a musician before, but this song, look. If you were to do a remix of this song, release it today with all the instrumentation, the chords, everything, probably just introduce a rap or something in there, it would still probably beat a lot of the new songs that are out there today. Would you agree?
Well, I wouldn't use the word beat. So that would be competing with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, as a songwriter, I just write the songs and I sing them, hoping that somebody out there might enjoy it. I always say that when you go out there to perform, you have about, let's say, 10 people. Each of them has their own issues. Somebody is going to write his exams, somebody has marriage problems, somebody has health issues, somebody has so many issues, and hoping that somebody might be saved today. So basically that's what I do.
I have another show on Joy. It's the Late Night Express.
That's right.
Mondays to Wednesdays, 10 p.m. till midnight. And anytime on Wednesdays, I dedicate it to Ghanaian and African music, African romantic love songs. And one of my favorite, in fact, not my favorite, audience favorite, Somedoshe.
Oh, wow.
Somedoshe.
It's one of my favorites as well.
Oh, you love Somedoshe?
I love Somedoshe.
Okay, that takes me to my next question. Of all your songs, which is your personal favorite?
I've never been able to figure that out. I still don't know. Till now I still don't know, because you see, there are some of the songs I just like the bass lines. There are some of them I love the chord progressions. Some of them the vocal melodies, and some of them just the groove. Some of them the horn riffs, and some of them the combination of how I if you take a song like Bomi Dong, for example, people don't know much about that song.
True.
But how the orchestration, the horns, the keyboards works, it's totally out of the way how we write our high life music. So I'm still scratching that surface of my talent. So I don't know which is my favorite until now.
Your understanding, your depth of, you're deep. Did you go to music school or something, or did you lock yourself in some room to learn? Where is it from? Because there are people who just sing because they have the talent, they can sing, but there are aspects of you people don't know. People don't know that you've worked on a number of productions, and today you're going to share some of them with us.
Wow.
Oh yeah. People think, that's a child somewhere. They know yeah. A lot of people, they probably don't know about Asanwado, they don't know about Fremi, they don't know about, a lot of the songs.
And shake your body to the beat, and scratch my back and all that.
Would you call yourself the father of Boga High Life?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that at all. Initially, for me, the story of Boga High Life, I give credit to many people.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I talk about CK Man. You remember in the 70s, CK Man did high life, funky high life.
Yes.
Osoda Kusuya and Osode,
yes.
Yes, those kind of funky groove and all that.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then Jogdako's band, no, not his band actually. He was Fourth Dimension band.
Yeah.
That was a military band in Kumasi. They did Yadinam Pabo, Yadinam. That was also Kadoji. So you see that kind of funky elements in it.
Yeah.
And then Precious Jewels band.
Yes.
Just right here on Tiptoe Gardens.
Yes.
The Tiptoe Lane.
The
That was
Tiptoe
where
Lane,
the
yeah.
band used to be. It was called
Oh.
Tiptoe Gardens. They were the resident band.
There.
They did Yes Unkwan I'm Ninu to Quaye. Yes Unkwan or Mami. So you see this same
The progression, the groove.
yes, exactly. These elements still
Yes.
flows through it. And then Pat Thomas did Pat Thomas 1981. When I heard that, I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. And then George Aku came with Equity Brofo,
Yes.
which was also quite different from what part they've
Very
all been
different,
doing.
yes.
Rex Jemfi came out with Enyumi Ya Metome Mao. I think Rex and I, we somehow came around
the same time,
because
yes.
I did Mino Belgru then.
Yes.
But then a friend of mine who kept persuading me to do high life, and I said, Kwaku, he's Kwaku Mensah. I said, Kwaku, if I were to do high life music, I've always envisaged high life music being played with strings, orchestration, horns, the horn section, the brass, the bass synthesizer. You know, they used to play the high life music with the bass, a normal bass
Yeah, the
guitar,
bass-
which
yes,
is the fourth,
exactly.
and it wasn't deep enough.
Yeah.
So I thought, can't we use the bass synthesizer to do the bass sound? Can't we use this, change the progression a little bit more into Cuban jazz, blues, add all these fusion, all these things? Can't we do that? And that was what I was pondering over, and I thought it could be possible.
Wow.
So when I first thought of Mino Belgru, started doing Mino Belgru, I thought I gave me the opportunity to add those elements into it. So if you hear Asanwado getting to the end part of the year,
Yeah.
I was imagining the orchestra played all the cellos and all that.
All of them in there.
Even though we didn't have the budget for it, but we had to somehow manage it.
Very, very interesting. That takes me back to the question I was asking earlier. Your background, your exposure to music, because it's different. It's very deep.
Well, I think first and foremost, I was quite fortunate to have heard the my uncle had a nightclub in Kumasi called the Rider Nightclub.
Okay.
And all the bands were playing in Kumasi. In fact, Kumasi was the place.
The hub of music.
Was the hub of music.
Yes.
And then I had a Starlight Band. Starlight Band was one of the bands that that metamorphosed to be the Visa Bees band. They backed Alaji Kefrim, but they did change and all that.
Yeah.
I had Master Kwabua, Alex Konedu. I performed for Alex Konedu myself.
Oh.
With Nana Tufo. In fact, the song Asasiasa, the music itself was written by me and Nana Tufo.
Wow.
And then Konedu had already recorded Asasiasa years back.
Years back. Okay.
And he thought it was quite okay if he could put transfer that lyrics of Asasiasa song onto the one that me and Nana Tufo has written.
Wow.
And Tufo titled the song "Don't Stop Loving Me." So and it worked out anyway. So I had the opportunity of listening to all these bands, but then I played also with Kofi and Johnson, Sparrow's band. And also with Kofi and Johnson, Madame Fupabeko. And then also with a Black Star Line band. Years back, the Black Star Line, the shipping corporation had a band called Black Ankle.
I see.
They were into more ballroom music, jazz, funk, all kinds of music. So I learned the rudiments of all these music. But then, lucky enough for me, somebody there gave me a record of Earth, Wind and Fire. From Mr. Morris White. And then they had this song, Get Away, let's leave today. So when I heard this, I said, this is the place I want to be. That's my kind of music. But then the question was, how do I fuse all these elements with the high life music? Especially with the guitar band music, where I play with Kumasi, with Alex Konedu's band, Dr. KJC, and all that. How do I fuse all these music with all these riffs, horn riffs, and this kind of production, especially the production which I was looking at too. So I learned from all these various bands, all these various groups. And then when I was playing with Jewel's band, I was the one singing all the Lionel Richie songs, the Commodores, Brick House. I was doing the Frank Beverly Maze before I let go. And I was a drummer too.
Oh, wow.
Originally, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer by birth. Let me put it this way.
This is interesting.
So I played the Kunedu Asasiasa. I played all the drums.
Interesting.
Yes. And most of those Kunedu songs I played. So when we record, Black Anchor actually we recorded, President Julius we recorded, but the songs weren't that big that time in Ghana.
At the time,
anyway, but I was a drummer of the band, and I was doing all the breakouts from Commodores and singing at the same time. And Frank Beverly Maze, Before I Let Go, Conscious Funk, all those phone groups,
But how did you get exposed to all these songs?
Earth, Wind and Fire, Get Over, and
But for
Saturday.
you at the time would be top
Exactly.
class. Why, you lived outside?
So finally, when I had the opportunity of going to Germany,
Yes.
that was when it all happened.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, now let me try and fuse all these ideas, all these high
Together.
life, all these elements into one big pot. So initially, when I did my song, I wasn't calling it Boga
Boga High
High
Life.
Life. I was calling it ethno pop,
Uh-huh.
something very ethnical, ethno from the word. So I just called the
Yes,
word ethno,
ethno-pop.
but designed to cross border lines to make it popular. So that's how Minobe grew from me.
And all the rest followed.
It followed, yeah.
Interesting.
So I learned from all these, and then when I signed also the contract with Milosh Music, we did Scratch My Back. There I was a little bit restricted because it was more designed for the German clubs.
German
and all
clubs,
that,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then we had a guy called Ben Lidbrand. Ben Lidbrand is the guy who produced Shake Your Body to the Beat.
Yeah.
He produced You Sexy Thing from Hot Chocolate, the club version.
Yes.
And then he did also I'm an Alien,
I'm an alien,
from Sting.
alien,
You know
from
the club
Sting,
version,
yes,
not
the
the original version.
yes, the club version from
That's the guy
Sting.
called,
Yes.
he produced all those songs. So he
And
produced,
Shinehead did a remix
yes,
later.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he produced, so from all these producers and working with all these producers and all these musicians and all that. So, well, that's, that's a journey.
A little bit whispered to me that you introduced a gem of a producer to Ghanaian music in the person of the late Budu.
Bodo Steiger.
Yes, Budu Tiger.
Well-
How did you meet him?
First and foremost, there was this black American guy. He was a bass player, Raul Walton. He played for Houdini, and this Italian Giannini. He played for all of them, and we became friends eventually.
Okay.
We started writing songs, and we wanted a German producer called Kenny Plank to produce us. Kenny died anyway. So as we were working, at a certain time we got stuck because we had only a 4-track machine and we wanted an 8-track machine. And he said, "Oh, I know a friend who has one," and that was Bodo. So we went to Bodo. We took the machine from Bodo and started working. That's how Bodo and I became friends.
Friends, okay.
But then I was already in contact with Peter Crick. Peter had recorded Res Jemfi's Enyumiya Metume Mao.
Okay.
Yeah, he recorded that song. Yes. So eventually, when I've done Mino Begro in a different studio in Bochum, and I came to Ghana to promote the album and came back to Germany, I was talking to Peter Crick, and I said, Peter, it looks like we should be consistent with this idea. And Peter said, well, let's do it again. So then we started thinking of recording a Yordasem and so on. Days later, I went there and met Bodo, sitting out with Peter. And Bodo said, oh Charles, how are you? I said, fine. And so I'm teaming up with Bodo, with Peter. I said, oh, that'd be great. So that's how Bodo and Peter and I started working together. But then at that time, Bodo was a German pop star. You know, he was quite big too. He had some
Yes.
series of kind of hit songs.
Yes.
And his name was Rheingold.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's how he named the studio Rheinklang. You know, that's
Rheinklang,
that river in Düsseldorf,
Yeah.
River Rhine. Yeah. Anyway, so Bodo then didn't know anything about her life. Peter Craig did because he has worked with Ray Jemfi.
Yeah.
So as we went step by step with the production, with high life music, what are the bases, what are the structures, the chord, get the progression. Bodo then learned that those
And he became
the
a
rudiments of high life music from that time.
Wow.
And then we brought in an amplifier choir also to play the guitar on the
Yeah.
Yordasem. That was another fusion of a Yordasem. We will talk about that later.
We have to. It's
talk about
very
that.
important.
Yes.
It's important.
Why the guitar works on those songs are quite different from the usual Yamponsa. You know, I try also to fusion. The usual Yamponsa is played with all the 6 strings.
Yeah.
And I chose to play mine with only 4 strings. And that became very difficult for Ampofu as well. So eventually Bodo had to put a solid tape on the 6th and the 5th string.
What was the inspiration? What was the idea behind that, though?
I don't know, but I've always challenged myself and said that if Dr. KJC came out with CGI Live and it's Honey with Mansa Uma, if you listen to the original version of Mansa Uma in the 60s, it's quite different from what Ernest Honey did added to what KJC did recorded. And they had this all brass sessions and all these. I said, how could they add the guitar band music with all these horn sessions and all that? So it was quite challenging to me. And because I was singing the Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores and all these, I said, let me try and experiment by bringing all these elements in my high life music.
Wow.
So the challenge was always there. I was always being challenged. So that's what we did. That happened to the Audacem recording with the Yamponsa, then B flat major 7. I think the first day I said I don't want to. There was a professor in Ghana when he heard that he said B flat major 7 on Yamponsa. He said wow. You know, so there are elements, there are things that people like my song, but they don't know how these stories need to be told. We need to document all these.
It's important.
Yes,
it is important. It is important because the songs.
So that's how actually Bodo studied the African
music.
It's just, no, specifically our high life music.
Okay.
And then when I did I did AB Crenso Obi Wiase. Obi Wiase on his own. Yes. So I did everything in Ghana. Sent it to Bodo for him to remix. So Bodo then started studying one after the other all these kind of productions that I was doing, and then eventually, when I left him, he continued.
He continued.
And also with Ampofu behind, with Ampofu on his side.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Because it looks like a lot of Ghanaian musicians owe a lot to that man. Because, I mean, you hear the songs and you hear the mix, you hear the final output, and man, it's simply amazing.
It also has to do their understanding about music production per se. Peter Craig, Bodo Steiger, and some of the some of the German engineers that we work with, and also the players, some of the German players. You know, for example, if you take Summit of it, the guitar solo was played by a German guitarist.
Oh, for real?
Yes, for real.
Wow.
And the saxophone solo on Sisau Suban, Frank Kershner. Oh, how I can remember his name? Amazing. Frank Kershner is one of the finest German jazz
performers.
No, saxophone
players. Okay.
And he's played with a lot of top German, top American musicians when they come to Germany and so on. And his understanding is because the way we structured the Sisau Suban, the Audacem. So musically, he could understand that. And then he could also hear the kind of jazzy progressions in there. So he could relate to it easily. And then I'll tell him, and I'll give him examples. I say, oh, Frank, this one I want you to play like this. John Coltrane, I want you to play like this jazz musician. This particular part of the solo, can you play like this one? Can you play like this one? Can you play like this one? And how it turned out amazingly. And they have the nerves and the patience to listen. That's the thing. They have the time. They buy time. We will spend about 6 months, about a year producing an album.
Wow.
Yes. And I remember when I sang, when we were doing the vocals on Dear Rusi, Peter Craig had then traveled. When Peter came back, there was only one note. And Bodo couldn't hear it. When Peter came in, he heard it. I had to sing the entire song again.
Wow. Because of one note.
One note. So these are guys, they have the nerves, they have the patience to listen. Musically, they are well vested. And we will argue. We will want to understand. I remember when I sang Somidohe. When I was initially, Bodo called me and said, and he used to call me Black Man. He said, Black Man, what's the meaning of this song? And I tried to explain it to him. And he said the contents, and I explained it to him. He said the mood, the way you are singing the song, it doesn't jive with the content. Yeah, with the lyrics. Initially, I got angry. But he's telling me. When I explained to him Somidohe, he said, "But that's not the way it's supposed to sound."
Wow.
I left, came back the following week, sang the song for almost 2 days. Bodo wasn't still happy.
Wow.
He said, "Charles, I'm not feeling it." Then I went to holidays to San Roberto, spent some couple of weeks with him, and I got fired. When I came back, the moment I stood in front of the microphone, or the first video, Bodo said, This is it. So how come could these Germans understand? So musically,
hold on, before you go forward. In Summit Dosha, there's some drama in the beginning. Whose idea was that one?
It was my idea. Truthfully, when I was even writing the song, I've never thought of I didn't think of the idea, the intro, the idea. It was an afterthought, by the way. And then after that, so can I create make some dramatic scenes and all that and all that. So basically that's where
you would have been a very fine actor. For those that haven't heard it, here is So Midoshe from the legendary Charles Amoah. I'm sure this you probably haven't heard it before, have you? So let us know. 055 We're in the studio with the legendary Charles Amwa. This one says Abwaji, the name is George Quaye on this show. It's George Quaye. Abwaji Jaroff. Awaji, I'm about 45 years, and back in the days, I love Charles Amwa's songs. Tell him to do a remix with some of the young artists to keep his songs fresh in the minds of the current generation. Thank you. Roland, don't worry. Those of us who are his generation, we know the song. We like them like that. But is it something that you've ever thought of? Maybe reworking some of them with some of these young acts?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, my initial idea to come to Ghana in the early 90s was to produce most of the young guys, because I thought that all the ideas that the knowledge that we have acquired in Germany and all that in terms of production, songwriting, I thought it was about time we shared it.
We shared it, yeah.
Then I came down, started working on Tommy Radio, Dada Katie, and some of the other. The stumbling block I had then was the issue of the copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me tackle that first. So I jump into the copyright issues, and then that also took my attention away from producing all the other guys. But then I decided to come back again in 2017. From 2018, I started writing some of the songs again. The song you're about to play today, Simply the Best, is one of the songs among the many songs that I've written for. And I was telling you on your program today, there's a couple of people that I've reached up to, and I have given some of the songs even to some of these young people, and what they're doing with it until now, I don't know. Simply the Best was offered to a lot of some of these young guys who ever came to my house, and I played it to many of them, but they would never take it.
Wow. And none of them gave you a reason?
No reason. And some of them I even give them the song, just the ordinary, the music itself, for them to rewrite the lyrics or whatever they wanted to do. And to today, I haven't heard from them. Some of them came, they wanted to record some of the songs. I never heard from them from 2018 until now.
Interesting. We're in the studios with the man Charles Amwa.
Well, I had to say this, you see, because I've heard many times that people say that my age group, we don't support and we don't invest in some of these young guys, but it's never true. For whatever the reason is, it's never true. So, well, I believe there are some out there who might show up eventually.
There definitely will be somebody who will show up eventually. But the man is still active. After how many years have you been doing this, Charles?
Over 50 plus.
Over 50 plus.
That's right.
And you're still active. You still perform.
That's right.
And you're still releasing.
Oh, the best is yet to come.
You're still a big brand.
The best is yet to come.
But how? Okay, I'll save that one. That's a part of our second part of the conversation when the rest of the panel join in. How it is that you've been able to sustain the brand at that strong top of mind awareness level all through the years? Because I mean, when the name Charles Amwa is mentioned, it's still a big name. You know.
Well, I think consistency, focus, and discipline.
Consistency, focus,
and discipline. And also you need to have a heart to share. You need to have a heart to share. I think once you have that also pushes you on the right path. Because if I take, for example, the copyright issues, where I spent about 15 years, 17 years, well, somebody might say, well, we lost it all. But at least it's giving birth to Gamro.
True.
Before we were under the ambit of the government.
Yeah.
COSGA was a quasi-government agency, but now we are private. So that has paid off. Now I'm back to production. But then years back I spent time producing. Well, I think you will want to talk about that later.
Oh, we will definitely talk about that later. So, right now, I want us to go into Simply the Best. What is the inspiration behind this new song?
Well, I believe, Georgie, you will look at your daughter and say she's the best.
I've got two of them.
You see, you will look at your wife and say she's the best.
Definitely.
Your mother, the best.
Definitely.
for any man, any woman is the best. The impact they have on us, not only by giving birth to us, but taking care of us as little babies till we grow. Even as we grow, my mother, even to her, I'm still I'm
Sure, definitely, always be the best for
you
them.
know. So that was the idea behind the song. But then also I thought that we could use the song for weddings, for giving birthdays to our lovely ones, and name it. You.
Let us hear it, ladies and gentlemen, from the man Charles Amwa, fresh and brand new. It's called Simply the Best. You're hearing it right here on Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. Take a listen, enjoy, feel it. We'll be back.
This be the right time, Charlie. Now this be my confirmation. You too much, 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 you too. Simply the best. You feel good always to give. You don't mind making me happy at all. You dey make sure my belly full. You go give your smile for my tears, oh. You dey give your joy for my pain. Peace of mind is your prayer. God does I spend time on you just for my sleepless night. My heartaches, my troubles, my sorrows, my fears, and all I got to say.
Caribbean islands. No, but this is solid.
Oh, thank you very
This
much.
is solid.
Thank
So
you,
so
George.
wait, you're telling me that a lot of our young acts passed on this?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Because I still got your guitar, your deep bass flair and everything in there. But
Initially, I mean, truthfully, as a songwriter, sometimes when I write a song and decide to give it to other people,
yeah.
well, I'll just do it. But then, based upon the character of the person, his nature, how he sings,
Yeah.
the image, and all of it, we can restructure the song
Rework it to suit their
the
brand,
person.
yeah, the
So
personality.
once the person is aware, I like it, then we can restructure the song and or yeah, you know, you can always change the elements and make it work for that particular person. Tailor it to suit.
This is very calypso-ish, Caribbean-ish kind of, I'm trying to find out where that inspiration is coming from, because it's, you feel it, you hear it in there, unless you don't agree with me.
No, I agree with you. I agree. The elements. Well, I don't know, George, how I put the songs together. I just let myself go, no restrictions and all that. You see, these days, music, like Stevie Wonder will say, is a word within its own self. It's a language that we all understand.
Yep.
So somebody in Jamaica, somebody in India, somebody in Venezuela might like it. So
a lot of people are listening to us. My good friend Arabella says, George, that's a good one. Charles Samuel, this one says, GQ, tell Mr. Amor I'd like to meet him and learn all I can. How do I get to him? That's from Eugene GH inside Nungwa. Okay, Eugene GH, we'll find a way. This one says, George, I think it would be quite difficult for the younger artists to match up with the standard. They just want computers to make music and beats for them. Claude inside Tema sent that one in. And then this one says, okay, that's okay. It says, Dada Charles, don't remix any song. Yeah. Keep it original. The right person to feature can even spoil the song. I'm very young, but my interest has been in enjoying mature songs like yours. Don't pamper anyone, okay? Good one there, boy. Shortest in front. Hey, Jack, don't be silly. That's Nana Quaye. Okay. And then this one also says, attended one of his performances in the 90s adjacent to GBC, Reinhard Saki. There's a place near GBC. Is it plus 233? That's opposite GBC.
Oh, I think that was Mr. Mike Egan's club.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or
was it Sunrise Hotel?
Ah,
most likely, yeah.
Possibly. Hi, George. Great show. Please tell your guests that these kind of their songs are what our fathers listen to, con our mothers, marry them till they do them part. Big up to him. Ajman Joseph Comedies. Nah, that's true. Because you listen to Somido Shepa, the lyrics in there. Hey. Hey. So, Uncle Charles, how were you managing the ladies back in the days? Those days.
I think. Me and Anetifo, we have we were kind of quite fortunate to have those kind of very strong, strict family behind us.
Okay.
Tifo's mother, my grandfather, they were very quite strict with us.
Yeah.
So even when we would travel, we would, instead of staying in the clubs and all that, we would rather stay in the van.
Yeah.
We'd rather stay in the van. I remember very well. We stay in the van, buy Fanta and bread.
And bread.
And eat, And when they are all going to eat, me and Tifo will shop around, look for a small corner and go and eat and all that. I remember when I was also with Precious Jewels, Tiptoe Band.
Yeah.
And Black Anchor. With Black Anchor, I would leave early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, get to the rehearsal's place, and then rehearse for about 2 hours before the band would come. Somebody had then given me an album of Barry White, and about the Barry White song.
Yes.
The drummer is quite very steady. I said, "Can I play like this drummer?" So I'll put on the record and play along with it for 2 hours.
Wow!
And then when we're done with the rehearsals around 3 p.m., I'll stay inside again to 2 o'clock.
Wow!
Till till I get home. So I was challenging myself to play more as like these kind of drummers, So
that's a lot of discipline.
That took. And also with the Precious Jewels band, we had the band within the band. We had a band called Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That was that was the keyboardist Ben Apia,
the Trinity,
and Ben Apia and his younger brother Akwesi.
Yeah,
Akwesi had passed away. Oh. That was the elder brother of Rap Kakari, the bass group.
Oh, okay.
So we formed a band called the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and we were making money outside still within the band. So when Jewels goes on holidays, the three of us will be performing. We've been traveling. We've been gigging. So this was how I got caught up with my time. So
interesting. Because we hear musicians when you go on tour and all that. By the time you finish, your hotel has been besieged by all. Because and when they come, me pebra no to so me doshe no, me pesa me sonne doshe.
And also, one of the good things that I learned when I first started playing with Sarah Roberto in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. We would leave early in the morning around 7 o'clock. get to our destination. For example, if you are performing in Kumasi, we will leave very early, get to Kumasi by 10, 11 o'clock, set up the equipment, rehearse, make sure the sound is okay, get 2 hours break. Robert will take us to the city, have some coffee and then get back, rest for 2 hours. So I learned all these things from Sir Roberto, and so many of these people.
That's a lot of discipline.
That's a lot of
discipline. This one says, Uncle Charles should co-host Flashback with Uncle Billy later this evening. That would be the show. K Inside, we just sent that one in. That will be interesting. This one says, hi George. It's great to hear the legend talk about how they patiently spend quality time to come out with their songs. No wonder the old folk songs are unique, soothing to their ears, and all angle and full of wisdom. But today, people with no patience. Every second now and then, they want to come out with a new song, ending up so noise song all over the place. Enjoying the show. Keep up the convo. This is Neni inside Winneba. And then this one says, you're right, Sunrise. Okay, yeah, he agrees that the place was called Sunrise. That's it. And this one says, good afternoon, George. Okay, yes, I was reading this one earlier on. I didn't finish. He comes back, says, during the debate, a rendition of Luther Vandross' Never Too Much was played, and he drew my attention to the fact that various renditions have been commissioned and all are equally blissful, making his point more divine. He gave me the opportunity to name just one rendition of our time, and I couldn't. I grew up listening to his carefully selection of jazz, blues, lovers rocks. Thus, we children also somewhat look out for carefully curated song. I'm a young lad though, but in our time, we will just want to jam because perhaps the song hits us from the waist down. That's Shem Mixon Yeboah there. Okay, we've also been joined by Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm not too bad, thanks
Charlie,
for asking. Yeah.
This is my best interview this year. I'm enjoying it so much.
enjoying
I'm
the
having a
convo.
lot of fun. Yeah. The convo is sweet.
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Charles.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
This is my first face-to-face.
Wow.
Have we met?
I can't.
this is the legendary Kennedy. This man,
Great.
just like you.
Super.
I mean, he. When they say the should I say connoisseurs of radio? Yeah, he's one of them.
I left the country before he started
Oh, okay.
his music. I think he started music around 74.
That's right.
Thereabouts, yes.
Charlie,
So the first time I
Uncle Ken, before you continue, the rest of the gentlemen who join us today had all not been born.
Exactly. So I think the first time I heard his music, I was in the UK, and I think it was his Sisamusubang album,
Yeah.
or something that was sent to me by a friend.
Wow.
You know, and I listened to it, and I liked him. When I came back to Ghana, he was here, and I was following his streets.
Yeah.
You know, but never really met him physically.
Wow.
This is the first
Super.
time. I'm glad.
Super.
I'm glad. I'm
Super.
glad. I'm glad.
Super,
to meet
super.
you, you know.
Oh,
And
super.
I got to know today that, you know, I have always loved Charles Amoah. I love the songs. I mean, they used to, you know, when I was born, we were living in a compound house at Abusukai, and they used to play it in the house. So I kind of got used to it before we moved to Kutubabi and all that. And I've always followed the man. I love the song. I love Rex James Fee, George Darkon, the Boga High Life groove kind of, you know, party. I love them. Though we are, you know, early 80s, Onkola, we still love the
I
songs.
was in the UK when that trend.
What that trend started.
Yes,
You know,
started,
I
you
only
know.
got to
So
know
I
today.
really enjoyed
Yes.
the music. It was something new. To
It was,
me,
yeah, it
you
was
know,
different.
Because back home, before I left Ghana, I was more into the, you know, the CK Mans and the, you know, those high life guys. You know, Sweet Beans, CK Man,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
KJC and the Noble Kings.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
And you remember, and then there were so many bands. As I was walking in, as I just got down from there, I heard him talk about Sir Roberto.
Yes.
That's right.
Mention Sir Roberto.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sir Roberto used to
Bisoyaya.
be Bisoyaya. One of the BB bands, you
That's
know.
right.
Bisoyaya. I knew
That's
Sir
right.
Roberto
That's right.
before I left the country.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
I only got to know today he worked with so many other artists, including our own Ziggy Jr.
Yes, apparently. Yeah.
Just tell us about
But
that.
that was when
Oh,
I
I
had come
did
back to
a
Ghana.
Oh,
we
okay.
a beer.
We a beer for Ziggy.
We a beer for Ziggy.
Interesting.
great.
You produced it, worked
Well, what people don't know that I played almost virtually I played every instrument
Wow.
On the album.
on the album from a zigzag song. I played everything.
Wow.
It's like the same like the one you just played.
Yes. Yes,
Virtually
it
I played
is.
yes,
Pretty
almost
much.
everything.
Very interesting.
Yes, and then engineered it, and then mix. Oh,
So, which other artists did you work with, or have you worked with?
I've done A.B. Crenso.
I love that song.
That album.
Yeah?
That-
and
that-
you know, Budustaga did something with it. Together with some songs from Ohirba Kisi and all those
The
things.
94, yeah, the
He
remix.
Put them
Yeah, you
together.
put them together,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the remix.
I love
Yes,
that one.
yes,
I love that
yes.
one. Yeah.
I did also for Thomas Frimpong, Wunti album. I did for Tommy Redu.
Yes.
Tommy Redu, Frank Mensapozo, Dada Kedi.
Which of the Dada
Dada
Kedi songs?
Kedi, I started with the Dinyo.
Okay.
The Dinyo album, and then the Obihu Donti, some of the songs, yes. Yeah.
Dada Kedi also has some fine songs.
And then Frank Mensapozo.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned.
Manumi Hu,
Yes.
the dark ballad. What's his name? Pasolo
Yes.
of Sibo Brothers.
Yes.
Sibo Brothers, Freddie Darkon, Jonah May,
You have worked.
wow.
Wow.
And some of the gospel artists in Kumasi.
Okay.
Shadaka Kwesiapia.
Yes.
Was it one of them that died, or what was his name? I've forgotten.
Wow.
The list.
Tons of artists.
Yes.
So where do you think your strength lies the most, in production or in performing or in singing? Where do you think you're best placed?
I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know because I think I still don't know because I think I have a lot to experiment. I have a lot to give. I have a lot more work to do, and until that is done, I wouldn't be able to tell whether it's songwriting, whether it's producing, whether it's arrangement of the songs. I don't know.
Fifi Pratt is saying hello. He's saying good afternoon to you. Yeah. Everybody is
Say
wondering.
hello to him for me.
Everybody is wondering. Hey, George Quaye, someone doesn't grant interviews. How is he in your studio?
For about 17 years, I stopped doing that.
Why?
I think, and then the first one was Hammer.
Yes.
Hammer dragged me for more than 2.5 years.
Wow.
So finally, I said, okay, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
My concern is that, first and foremost, if you take if you take a topic to discuss, let's say if you take Payola
Yes.
or music production to discuss, I think you people don't extensively get into the nitty-gritties of the whole issue.
Exactly.
So for me, your listeners, your viewers, the parliamentarians, the presidency, the businessmen, the corporate entities, the listeners, the musicians themselves, that's not get to the bottom of the whole issue.
Exactly.
If you want to talk about music, what is music production all about? The people don't even know that we have arrangers for horn arrangers, strings arrangers, rhythm arrangers, vocal arrangers, contractors. Even people don't even know the difference between keyboardists. Now, if you say a keyboardist, is he a pianist? He's an organist. He's a synthesizer player. If you look at the back of Michael Jackson, the Beat It album, you see Steve Porcaro. He was just doing the synthesizer, tuning and so on, programming it, and then somebody else will come and play it. We have no idea what is all this all about. We sandwich everything. We don't even know the difference between a studio engineer and a record producer, an executive producer. We don't even know.
Uncle Jazz now is one person.
So my question is that my concern is that if George if you invite me to your program and it's about the topic is about music production, and you want me to talk about music production in less than
10
an hour,
minutes.
in 10 minutes, what would happen to the businessman who wants to invest in producing an artist? He has no idea. So he put his money in there, the record doesn't sell, and then he quits. But if he knows that it takes about a year, 6 months to record an album, and like I said, consistency, discipline and focus, that it might take about 5 to 10 years before an artist can get out there. So it's not that quick fix, quick coffee, instant coffee, and instant music and instant production. No,
It's not fast food.
no. That's how it takes. So the businessman does not know. The banks does not know. The parliamentarians themselves don't know. So how do they make laws that will help us grow? That will help us project
Interesting.
our music outside the world.
Deep.
So until we begin to have time to discuss these issues, the impact of music on tourism, if we want to discuss these things, we need to talk about it properly. How the Quaye chromes and Anochi chromes, all this has to come back to place. How music has to be in our school curriculum. Now you see that now the Minister of Education is involved.
True.
The parliamentarians don't get involved.
Yeah.
The Minister of Finance has to be involved, because if we have to bring the Quaye chromes and the private people have to open all these night places for live music performances, do they need a tax-free holiday? How does Parliament and pass all these laws? These are things that needs to be dealt with properly. So by the time we're done, the Minister of Finance is involved. The parliamentarians themselves are not that they bring the bill and they just and then it's passed.
True.
So these are the issues. So if you call me on your program and I say, Ma, it's not because I don't want to come or I'm being disrespectful, but it's because we don't have enough time to digress into the issues properly for people to understand, for the musicians themselves to understand. We don't do all these things. I see you guys, sometimes you complain about, we can't, how do we export our music? Do you know what the elements, what it takes? Do you know what it takes? Go and find out what it took Yeke to be out there. What it took Angelique Kidjo to be out there. Your Morikante, your Sondu. How many years? How were they groomed? The kind of bands they put together. They play from one club to another club, one place to another place. They build up their in terms of songwriting, the material, the library. They build it up. It took time. It took years. But you people will sit over here and just talk about it, and that's it. And I see you across the length and breadth of the country. All your entertainment programs. You people discuss all this program, and sometimes you have what you people call the experts to come and digress about the whole thing. But yet, if you ask him how does the chord progression of Mansa Uma, he doesn't even know. And yet he will tell you that yes,
He's an expert.
He's an expert. So
So you're hearing it.
So
it is not that he doesn't want to come.
This kind of banter argument here and there, and then you see people trending. Why do I want to trend? And Angelique Kidjo is being invited by Habi Hancock for his recordings. When I heard that, I said, wow, this woman has gone far. That's the kind of discussions, that's the kind of argument. What happened? How come Angelique Kidjo got that? Now she's all over the place. The most major gigs are being played by this frontline by this francophone country musicians and all that.
Yeah.
Check through your Spotify top 100. How many Ghanaian artists are there? Check through. You see the Justin Biebers and all these people are there. So why would I come over and then argue with you and go back and forth and all that?
You heard him. It is not that he doesn't want to attend interviews, but if you want to make time, proper time, so that at least by the time he leaves the interview, we would have made an impact. We've also been joined by my brother, Chief Mumin. Chief, welcome.
Thank you very much.
How old are you, Chief?
I'm actually turning 35 next week Saturday.
You are turning what?
35 next week Saturday.
Uncle Ken, we are surrounded by children.
You are who?
At least I'm 5 years older than him.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're approaching 35, you can already see 40, and when you can see 40, you can see 60. So I feel very heavy in years.
Yes, Uncle Ken.
You know, Charles raised some very interesting. You know, that's my lane.
Very true.
The production.
Yeah.
and
Uncle Ken, let me greet
quality
Charles.
music.
I haven't landed. Let me greet him.
Yes, Uncle Ken, hold on. Let him land. I'll come
Since
to you.
there's a legend in the studio.
In the studio.
Yes. I've been listening from the beginning of the show, and I want to pay my respects. Uncle Charles, I'm a young Ghanaian storyteller. You know, I'm not a musician, even though I have some musical, inclinations. But I'm a poet and a playwright. So I just want to extend my greatest respect. I do productions on Ghana's history, and I actually worked on a play on our musical history. And I was very struck when we go back in time, how rich of a musical culture and tradition that we have. Even if we take it alone from the beginning of palm wine music to high life music, and the bands, the professionalism that you are talking about, music as a profession. Professional musicians. So I mean, great props and honor to you and to that generation who have paved the great way.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yes.
Uncle Ken,
have you been listening to any of your songs though?
Yes, I heard a couple of the ones you played.
Before the ones I I played, did
Yes.
you know Charles Samuel's songs?
Yes, I know the face.
You know Charles Samuel's face?
Yes,
But you don't
yes,
know
yes,
his songs?
yes. I know his songs. I know if you play any of the popular ones, I'll jump to it.
Oh, okay.
You see about the documentation. These are things that I've been talking about.
Yeah.
True.
I was with Zap Mallet.
Yeah.
And a friend of Zap brought in two ladies, two young girls. But one was, I think, 15 and 12.
Yes.
And there was a friend. She was, I think, the third year at the school at Legon.
At the School of Performing Arts.
Yeah, no, at Legon.
At the University of
And
Ghana,
then
okay.
we were talking about we were just talking, and then for some reason a question came about if they know if she knew about Diana Ross. She said no. Patti LaBelle, she said no. James Brown, she said no. Luther Vandross, she said no. But then the two young girls from London,
Yeah.
the 12 and 15, they knew all of them. They knew the Elta James,
All of them.
They knew them. You see, then I asked myself, it's the same thing if you ask them if they know about Master Kwabwa, they will say no. Kofi Annie Johnson, they say no. Dr. KJC, they say no. Charles Samuel, they say no. Amachi Today,
They'll say
they
no.
say no. So, so it means the structures that the pillars, the foundation that was laid, has been broken.
True.
It's not there. So how do we expect our younger musicians to progress?
To be able to progress, yeah.
If you enter a shop in Germany and you want the entire songs of Stevie Wonder, how the chords were structured, everything is there. The recording of the songs of his double album, everything is there.
Songs in the key
Songs
of
in the
life.
key of life. You have all that, so you can take it and build upon it, add, subtract, and all that. That's how they've been growing. That's how these people have been growing. We have destroyed all our own. And now we turn around and blame the younger ones. Whose fault? Is the means of education? The structures by the government, by our chiefs, by the businessmen. Who is to be blamed? Nothing. So if Charles Samuel dies today, George Darko is gone, nothing is there.
Deep. Very, very, very serious. Uncle Ken.
Yes.
Yes, you also had the floor. You were talking.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
saying that, that's my area.
Yes, true. Yeah, the production, the instrumentation and everything,
of a
yeah.
solid album, But the thing is, the people of today don't record that way anymore. That's the problem, because George said to you, remember when you raised the point, George made the point, he says, these days it's a one-man production team. Unfortunately, and I get peeved most of the time, but like Sadiq will tell me, Uncle Ken, it's a generational thing. Yes. So don't worry too much about it. You mentioned the various credits on an album, George. That was the fun in those days. Buying an album, vinyl, putting it on your turntable, turning it up, sitting back, getting hold of the album, and looking through the credits.
That's right.
See who did what
That's right.
on the album.
That's right.
That it was more pleasurable sometimes than the music itself.
Yeah.
Because it taught you how to get to know the artists,
Exactly.
the session musicians, and the various people involved in production. So today, when I hear a song by an artist, I know, this artist, he was once upon a time on David Sanborn's album.
That's right.
He played alto sax. That's another thing. He mentioned the keyboards.
Right.
He said, if you're a keyboardist, what does he play? Does he play piano? Does he play B3?
Yep, a lot of people don't know
What does
that.
he play? People, the same as the saxophonist.
Yeah.
We think all saxophonists are the same. But there are various saxophones.
That's right.
There's alto saxophone, there's soprano saxophone, there's tenor saxophone, there's baritone saxophone, there's bass saxophone. And to be able to get to know which is which, you must have been groomed from ages to learn the sound. So I can hear a bass saxophone on a track, and I will tell you this is a bass saxophone. I'll tell you this is alto saxophone. This is tenor. Easily, because I know from just listening over the years, So the people of today don't record the way Charles is. So that is why they won't discuss it. Because that's not their way.
Uncle Ken, you're right.
Who's going back to getting session musicians into a studio, paying them by the hour? It's expensive.
It is expensive.
It's
It
an
is expensive.
expensive
But what you're
ordeal.
saying is very true. Because I remember very well. Was it 91 Michael Jackson released the Dangerous album?
The Dangerous one.
91 or 93? I think it was around.
Yeah, one of
you
those
know.
dates. Yeah.
And people liked other songs on that album, but my favorite song, I fell in love with that song simply because of a guitar performance.
Okay.
So after,
But did you know the guitarist?
I didn't.
Exactly.
So it was only after I got a copy of the CD, then I looked at the back and I realized it was Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Right.
That did the guitar on Given to Me. The song was Given to Me.
Okay.
And till date, Given to Me has been my favorite from Michael Jackson's
Jackson.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
That Dangerous album. So I do understand what you're saying, that
Yeah.
in those days, you even want to yearn to get a copy to look at the back.
Exactly.
To see the people that actually did the work
Yeah.
on the song,
Yeah. Yeah.
But, digital.
You see, I tell you something. If you're a record producer, it's very, very important you learn all the rudiments, like Ken said, all the various nature and kinds of instruments, what production is all about. So, for example, if you bring me Tommy Redu
Yeah.
and look at how he sings and how he is, the song will be designed and produced to specifically suit him. If you bring Ezekiel Jr., it will be designed to suit him. In fact,
Yeah.
Yogi Dogi, you see, I did Yogi Dogi. Akokra winger, but
Yes.
it's quite different from Ezekiel.
It's very different.
So it's quite designed to suit him. These are things that we need to talk about. We need to learn. So if you don't know this, how then do you produce? How do you sound quite different? How do you sound quite different? If I hear John Robinson on drums, that's the guy who play Ain't Nobody. That is the guy who played
Yeah.
for Luther Vandross, Chaka
Yeah.
Khan. Name them. And when he does lectures, only the drum sound, how he tuned his drums. You have to be ahead of time just to go. And so, if, for example, if I'm producing an artist and this song, can I do the snare just like John Robinson?
Yep.
Because I'm in tune with how he works and how he tunes and everything. I will produce it to suit his particular
Yeah.
kind of direction
yeah,
and how
yeah.
he is. So these are issues that we need really to spend more time to document it, not only to document it, but let it sink very, very, very.
In the next 2 hours, we are going to be looking at the career path of a musician and how some of them just bust onto the scene, how to sustain and be a Charles Samoa that after 50 years, when they mention your name, it still comes with a lot of respect, and you're still performing, you're still releasing, you're still commanding relevance in the space. We've also been joined by my brother and friend Sadiq Abdullah Abu, CEO of 3 Music Network. Alaji, yeah,
George.
you're not going to Hajj?
Not this year.
Not this year.
Some other time.
Okay.
Yeah,
When you're in power.
How? It's actually not allowed.
When you're in power, you don't go to Hajj.
It's actually not even allowed to have somebody in the ways they do it, where maybe some government comes in, they try to fund their political fanatics and functionaries. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Oh, but what
But
I'm
that's
saying
not what
is
he meant.
that's
No,
not
when
what
he
I'm
asked you
saying.
whether you are going to Hajj.
Oh,
No, you said some power, and I said that no.
so wait, when you're in power, you will not
go.
go to Hajj. I'm not saying you are going to Hajj on state funds.
Oh, I'll go before that.
That's all I'm saying.
He hasn't been, and hey, then if he becomes an Alaji,
We are there, though.
Baba Sadiq.
We are dead.
Oh, again.
This one says 21 gun salute to Charles Amwa. 21 gun salute to Charles Amwa. Great instrumentalist, vocalist, dancer, and showman. Precious Jewels, Tiptoe Charlie. The BB bands were King Bruce. His contribution is immense and priceless. Which song did he do with Tommy Redu? Wisdom, experience, expertise, humility. Charles has made my day, and that is our man, Naughty Dua. Yes. Naughty Dua is enjoying the conversation.
Old school. He likes old school.
Yes. I love old school too. I love
know,
old school.
I know.
Sadiq, have you been following the conversation?
Yeah, I think I caught the last part of it.
The last part of it.
I caught
Yeah.
the last part of it. But I've been following Charles Samoa, for some time. That there was a point in time I had to find a bit more on high life and the different variations.
Yeah.
And I was checking out the Bugger High Life period, and there are a lot of works that, apart from his work, I found out that there are a lot of works that he had to produce, and there's something I've been wanting to ask when I found out that he was coming. I realized his tone or style was almost the same as the John Case kind of productions in those days. And I don't know, what accounted for it. Was it that you guys were working together in the same studio, or what explained? I don't know if I'm the first person referring to that.
I Well, the little I can say. Well, I think the those of us in Germany started releasing before John released
Yeah.
Asaboni.
Asaboni.
So we were ahead of John. We were ahead before John started releasing Asaboni.
Yeah.
I also remember I did a song for Thomas Frimpong and Reno Beba. But then we couldn't get Thomas to come to Bodo's place to record the vocals. So apparently Thomas Frimpong gave the song to John Kay to produce
To
it.
produce. Okay.
Produce it. And that because then he was also producing, he has then produced also Thomas Frimpong.
Okay.
Yeah, then that's when he produced Thomas Frimpong. So I think he somehow took some of our elements and added to it.
Okay.
And added to it. But then later, John and I became very good friends. We became very good, very good friends. Anytime I go to London, I'll visit him. And then he
You'd
also
visit.
would
There's some
me. But
similarities. in the tones.
he's one of the most incredible producers that I think we've lost. Not only a musician, but really when it comes to production, he was one person I was really looking up to.
Yeah.
John
yeah.
was one person I was really looking up to.
This one says, George, please give in to me, small way. Eugene from Nungwa, please play Give In to Me. Oh, you want me? No, today is Charles Amon. If you want to hear Give In to Me, tune into the Late Night Express on Monday. I'll play Give In to Me for you. Good afternoon, George. In the 80s, I remember I'll be in bed listening to Charles Amwa songs. Love his music and I do enjoy it. That's Oye Inside of Fienya. And this one says, are you sure Uncle Ken's age is accurate? Listen, now he's a football age suspect. Nana Kwesi.
Why does it?
I said, George, Sunrise Hotel is the
He's
current
younger than
Alisa Hotel at Norwich. Yes, we know that. It's current Alisa Hotel at Northridge branch. Yeah, that's true. There used to be another hotel down the road from there. Aside Sunrise, there was another. Was it Northridge Hotel?
Northridge Hotel.
Are you sure it was Northridge Hotel? There was another hotel down the road. I've forgotten. I remember because they had a big swimming pool. Yeah, it was some white structure
That's
with
it,
a
yeah.
big swimming pool. I think it's now where Metro TV is or something.
Yeah, where the Metro TV
Yeah.
is.
There used to be another hotel down there. Okay, so we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, more from the man Charles Amwa. If you do not know Charles Amwa, I've played his new song, but I'll take you back. You hear one of the old ones. Oh, definitely come and do more of the new ones, and I'll let you know where you can get all of them. This one will take us into our break, then we'll come back to see how all our upcoming acts can stay longer than a lot of them, or some of them usually stay. They drop one hit, no, they disappear. What accounts for that? Stay on. welcome back to the studio. Yes, we have a full house now. We've been joined by Guru as well. Guru, welcome. It's an honor to have you on Showbiz A to Z. Is this the first time you're on Showbiz A to Z?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, how?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how? Look,
It be bad.
it be bad. The most relevant entertainment show south of the Sahara.
Yeah, this is my first time being on.
This is the only
In the
show.
whole year, this is my first time coming to Joy.
Oh, no, that's not good.
It be bad.
Because this is the only entertainment show in Ghana
Wow.
that the presidency listens to.
Hey,
It is not a boost, it is a fact.
it is serious.
It is a fact. Yeah.
Presidential
Then
Hey, you know.
today be good day for.
Yeah.
There's presidential
topics
showbiz.
we
It's
should
the president.
discuss.
Oh, they listen. They listen.
Because I even have certain. I want certain things to be addressed on.
Because
this show.
this is the show
Which
that
has been my
determined who should be, Minister for Tourism and
Yeah.
even deputy.
Because-
I go get Adilai,
I-
Sadiq Adilai, and if government changes, right, this show will still decide.
Agenda set.
because I have questions and I need answers.
What kind of questions do you have?
One,
Yeah.
based on my own experience, I went to New York, Manhattan,
Yeah.
and I went straight to ASCAP's office
Mhm.
and trying to retrieve certain files. And I wanted to know much more about why is Ghana music not recognized at the world stage and not having any platform that you can go and search high life music. Yet they are collecting high life royalties and giving to Gamro. Yes. And approaching them, I wanted to know why some of us don't have the direct link with them. All right. And making sure we can have a data that proves that, yo, Guru, I have like 100,000. All right. And it's like you working with a PR company, which is fine. What about I don't want to work with a PR company? I want to do it myself. And the whole thing was like, everything has been directed to Gamro. That's another conversation. But now, my problem is, our music don't exist.
It doesn't exist where?
It's been tagged Afro beat. And that's a big discussion. Oh.
But who tagged it?
What are we selling?
Don't worry. You're taking us into another conversation,
Yeah.
which will need. Uncle Charles has made it clear.
Like I said, it's the
Uncle
whole
Charles has
question
made
I
it
need
clear
answer.
to us that
Yeah.
we shouldn't do quickies when it comes to music discussions. We should give it full time.
No, me, like I said, right? I am in University of Ghana doing a little bit of theater,
Yeah.
knowing that I'll be able to know much about the genesis of it all and trying to figure it out. Basically, we're doing the literature now, but I really want to go deep into why. And sometimes we need to start something like a sort of an agenda, start projecting it. So some of the hard works and the beautiful works they've done project the sort of future we all expect to see in Ghana. Because we know they see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you do have a point. We'll look at that. That's a topic that needs looking at.
Serious.
But, before we get into our next topic, which is how you guys have managed to stay relevant and you're still in the space these days.
Chairman,
Let me ask, Charles, Chief Moment, while we're on break, we're having a conversation and he mentioned that, okay, just as we are, critiquing high life today, Guru just said our music is missing. We are now calling it Afro. Charles, when this Boga high life thing started, were there any criticisms? Does people attack you? You're spoiling our high life music. What is this? You're spoiling. Did you encounter any challenges of the sort?
Oh, yes, I did. First and foremost, I remember when we brought Minobel Group.
Yeah.
These days they have these record shops
Yeah.
around Cantamanto,
Cantamanto, Opera,
Zongo
and all
Lane
those
that.
places, yeah.
And I remember the guy who brought it.
Yeah.
He told me that no one wanted to take it
Wow.
because they thought it wasn't our high life music. Like whether the Palm One,
Yeah.
whether the guitar band music
yeah.
or whatever, the big
What
band
they are
high life
used
or
to.
whatever it
Yeah.
was. Anyway, so I remember also when we were recording in the studio, I'd always been telling George Darko and Billy and Bob Fishing that it might take about 20 years for people to absorb this music. Because I had envisaged that already because of the fusion, because of the thinking that I had. So I was expecting that anyway. But when I came and I heard that, I said, oh, so I was right. But then I decided to adopt something which I had learned in Europe. You see, when the record companies sign an artist, they don't look at you that in a split second you become a superstar or you are a star or whatever it is. They would spend over 3 years first and foremost for your name, building up your artistic stage performances, materials,
The brand and
all-
everything.
Everything.
Complete.
That's the first 3 years. That's how they look at.
Wow.
Then they look at the next album. That might take you another. So by the next one, that will be 9 years. They're looking at around 9 years. That's when they think now. If you are lucky, if you are fortunate, that's with that. That hardly happens. That you have a huge hit, boom, like She's a Bad Mama Jama. It came one time, boom, that was it. Then you are quite fortunate. Now check out this Canadian guy, Weekend.
The Weekend.
Check them all. How long it took them before they
Before
got
they came
there.
out.
Check Jay-Z. Some of them 10, 15, 20 years. It's taken that long for them to get into where they are today.
Yes.
So you don't expect your songs for people to like it or just get into it or become a super what? No. It doesn't happen that
It doesn't
way.
happen that way. Okay.
Maybe some of us think that way, but from what I learned when I was in Germany, when EMI was going to sign me, that's what they said. That's what they told me. That they were looking at around. In fact, they were looking about the first 1 to 2 years me doing gigs in small clubs.
Wow.
About 100 gigs doing small clubs. I wasn't going to be paid. The musicians were going to be paid. But you play from one small club. In fact, when I came to Ghana, so that's what I did when I brought Beno Begro. I started playing at places like Nkoko, Sunyani, Brekum,
Strategy.
Domahinkro. So if I take, let's say, that enclave,
That enclave.
I would do, let's say, Wednesday at Techiman, because they do this Techiman Wednesday. Then I would do Domahinkro on Friday. Then I would do Sunyani on Saturday. Then do Brekum on Sunday.
Wow.
If I take, let's say, Ho, I will do Ho on Friday, Ho on Friday, Ho on Saturday, and go to Koforia and do Koforia on Sunday. That's what Charles Amwa did across the country. And I left Kumasi and Accra. Then when I did Ayodasem, that was worse. Now it wasn't only that the shops wouldn't take it. Like we said, some of the musicians and some people were criticizing, but I'm the guy I will never get into arguing and fighting and quarreling and all that. No. I would just jump on the train, go to for rehearsals or for live performances, and that's what I did. I did the same thing. So the villages, the cities, the small towns. If I do Obuasi on Wednesday, then I'll go to Takwa on Friday. Then go to Takrade on Saturday.
And that was how you're promoting.
That was how I was promoting my album. So that's what I did. And left Kumasi and Accra.
Yo.
You see, I learned this from Lionel Richie once. When one time he was, I think one of his albums, he started Birmingham, Manchester City, and he would never do London.
He left London.
And then they would say, why? They say, the British media, if you do London and you
mess up, that's the end of it.
You are done.
That's it.
So I said, okay. So when I started coming to Ghana, that's exactly what I was doing. Back and forth every now and then. I would do in 2 seasons
That's
a
a
year.
lot of hard
June,
work.
July, then I'll come back in December. And then also in Germany, I was doing small clubs, small parties here and there. I'll carry my tapes here and there. London, I would do small. I was Holland, Belgium. I would do a show in Belgium on Friday. Then Saturday I'll be in Amsterdam. That's what I was doing.
So that's how you managed to get the people to adopt the music.
Exactly. That's what I did. Basically, that's what I did.
Solid, man.
So don't expect that any new thing that you bring. You see, Gamer, the collection society in Germany,
Yeah.
they never had tree when you register a song. But now they have tree.
They have Chi there now.
Now they have tree now.
Solid.
You see, Gamer has tree now because they recognize that we are. I tell you 3 things: it's consistency, discipline, and focus. You remember when in the days of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, how come everybody heard of high life music? He took the bands
across
everywhere.
Yeah.
I was told by someone that David GBC was designed that our music could cross to Australia, to all these countries. Do we have those policies now? Do we have them? Do we have?
No.
Do we have radio stations that will play Pan1 music 24 hours? Do we have radio stations that will play Boga Hala? Do we have radio stations that will play the Takonimos music?
No.
Do you have the music that will play this? If you go to, the first time I went to New York City, I never had rap music. I said, but I'm in New York City. They said, Charles, the station you tune in is a jazz station, and they play jazz 24 hours, and they have different kind of jazz stations, contemporary jazz. They keep all the variety of their music
alive,
because music is a culture that depicts the culture and the traditions of the people. We don't do that.
Yes.
Music is in the school curriculum. We've taken music out of the school curriculum. What are the government policies about music? The Quaye Chrome and Nochi Chrome, where we used to get when the musician have released his album, is gone. And now Guru doesn't have a place to perform.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a place.
Yes.
At least before we had the culture center, the Quaye Chrome and Nochi Chrome and all these things. Look, Accra alone had over 60 nightclubs. By this time, oh Lord.
On a Saturday night.
You started partying from Wednesday to Sunday night.
Midday.
From Wednesday to Sunday.
Time.
From Wednesday to Sunday. And the musician will play without even thinking about his record royalties. And look what is kind of the tour.
Wow.
Second royalties is the tour because you are gigging every single day. US we were playing on Wednesday at Tipto Gardens. Thursday we play at Nima Hotel, Grand Hotel. Friday we are playing at Tipto. Saturday we are playing. Sunday this party here and there. And some of the gigs even the entire money will be given to us.
Before
And we are paid monthly. It will seek us the whole properly, well organized. You have a house, the band, everything. You have a van, you have a car, you have the packers, everything.
George.
Hold on, Sadiq.
So if look, we need to sit down and properly address this thing. The government policies to bring back Americans. You know, almost the 2 M's, and I promote America, and I call the 2 M's: music and movies. Because there's no child in Russia that know any American politician, but they know the Michael Jacksons, they know the football players, they know all of them.
The basketball players.
The basketball players. That's how they sell their product to you. You buy an American jeans because of Michael Jackson,
Yes.
and you go and eat burger. You go to Burger King because they influence you with their movies and their music. It's a deliberate policy. It's called the trade policy. The parliamentarians need to sit down. Our people have to sit down and make functional proper policies if we want to jumpstart music. There's no consistency. How do you and Guru is talking about what he's talking about. Listen. How can the francophone guys, Angelique Kidjo, them break through in France? They have agencies that day.
That's it.
They have agencies. Their government they have this kind of
Partnership.
marriage relationship with France. This culture thing they've been doing. We don't have that. And they have managers over there signing them for gigs. And listen, there's no European country that will sign Charles Amoa to come and perform and bring back the money to Ghana. Unless I have an agency there so that I can spend some of the money there, pay for electricity there, buy their food, patronize their product and everything, spend the money there. How many British musicians are top musicians in America? You tell me. Apart from George Michael, Elton John sometimes.
Adele.
How many musicians? Adele.
A few.
How long did it take Adele?
Few. It's actually very few.
Sir, when you come to Britain, almost some American
the Americans also did.
No,
Yeah.
it's called the trade policies.
That's it.
Look, there are a lot of things we need. That's why I quit coming on radio. Because if you bring one issue, we may have to discuss it for about a whole month for the parliamentarians to hear, the corporate entities to listen, the musicians to listen, our mothers and our fathers to listen, so that they could help us properly. Systems and structures are put in place, and Obia an idea of 100 years, 1,000 years, and you want to just go there and invade their territory.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Anyway, that's a solid one there. Very interesting.
We need really to break it down.
Wow.
If we take one issue, you have no places for live performances. Music is not taught in your schools. You have no standard recording studios. We don't have all that. You want to promote tourism, and you put music behind the back door. Love is right.
Sadiq, you remember when Honorable Deputy Speaker Marco Krikumante was Deputy Minister of Tourism, kept hammering on studio. There were some elements in the industry that thought, but why do we need studios? What are we going to do with studios and all those things?
But you don't need a government to establish recording studios. It has to be private. Make it easier.
For private people to be able to get into it. Exactly.
Give them tax-free holidays.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about the tax system that needs to be put in place for the music industry. That is the first place we have to talk about. The rules, the laws Parliament has to enact. Guru, if you want your music to go out there, I can tell you the laws our parliamentarians first need to enact. The things the Minister of Finance has to do. Wow. The judiciary. They have no idea about. Look, I arrested a guy who pirated my music in Kumasi. At the police station, the policeman asked me, Charles, now why they cry mention? That was when I quit making music to fight against this copyright law. That was the day I said to myself, that was the day.
Do you know
for
the
17
challenges they
years.
had?
That was the day.
The challenges they had in setting out the creative arts court.
I know.
So that was the day.
And copyright is
And
the
even
foundation
if
of
you
any
arrest
creative
somebody,
economy.
it's never been tested. The law has been passed, but it's never been tested.
Yeah.
Say me for guru says here, where are the experts that can tell that anyway or sample way of and you heard people talk about sampling. You can sample this. You can take in America. Masa, the systems are there and they are working.
That's it.
Let me talk to Guru a little bit before we get into a conversation. Guru, so what have you been up to? I mean, you haven't been here a whole year.
Godfather is saying everything.
No, I want Godfather to rest because Godfather is on fire, which I'm loving.
Thank you, Godfather. This is what I've been. What I don't know how to say. Yeah, listen. Okay, well, he will say the rest. So let me just talk about.
Yeah.
I've been up
What
to.
you been up to?
Yeah,
quickly.
right now for this whole year, I started embarking on education. That's what I've been doing now. Like I said, I'm in the University of Ghana.
Okay.
Doing political science, information studies,
Wow.
and theater arts. Basically,
Guru for president.
I was saying possible. All these things will be fixed.
Charlie, campaign message with that sorted.
Solid. Because I realize we're not really projecting some of our values in politics or projecting some agendas, which is really lacking in the world of music and everything. So basically, I went there for IT. I wanted to study Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, and I dropped because the time to do it and looking at what I wanted to be or project in the next 4-8 years is about politics as well. So that's the main key I'm doing now. And we are done with first semester, and I'm trying to combine school with music. So we started this agenda by bringing entertainment, show business, into campuses where I'll be repping and just make them feel the connection between the artists and then the crowd, the numbers. Those days we used to perform.
So wait, you want to take the music back into the schools,
Yeah,
which is
of
something
course.
Charles Samuel has been hammering on.
very
Yes,
necessary.
he said it like 4 times today.
Because the students, they're more than the social media, the TikTokers and everybody, the Twitter.
they're all there.
It's about students, and you need them. Joy will be joy if you don't have the numbers on social media.
Wait, you just said something that's critical.
And
If
there
I
are ones that
combine
you
what
check
you've
at
just said with what Charles has been talking about,
Yes,
we've taken the music out of the schools at a time when social media has made it easy for us to reach the world.
Yeah.
And the people that are talking to the world on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter
Are the ones
are
in the
in the
schools.
schools.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead of taking the music to them, so
Yeah.
they push it to the world.
You know the funny thing, because they don't see the impact of your music, they are listening to the foreign content. So they are on the iTunes. Now I'm on the iTunes. Even the students, they will go there and Shazam other song from somewhere
George,
because
please.
Guru.
I agree 100% that the music should be taken to the schools.
Back to the schools.
Back to the schools like it was back in our day.
Yeah.
I was
But-
talking about the curriculum.
Yes,
but
but into the curriculum,
but
yeah.
I want to ask,
Yeah.
when you say the music should be taken back to the schools,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
I'm
The
talking about
theoretical part of music,
Yeah.
or just the what is happening now,
everything.
No, I think it's a combination of what both he and
everything, you know.
so that the children
Yes.
can learn to
Enabling-
read
Exactly.
music.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Feel-
already there. If it's about that, it's there. It's
It
in the
needs
universities and the
the
schools.
empowerment. It needs it
enabling
needs-
the music in the
yes,
schools.
Yes, to spread across because
No, I'm only
now-
asking whether they're going to learn to read music,
Yeah.
not just to play music. They are two different things.
No, but
Reading and then understanding music.
No,
But
like,
you see, Guru, hold on,
Because
Uncle Ken. You see, when
we
it
have
comes to
people
when
like
it comes
Zap
to
came to sit here.
when it comes to reading music in schools, I think that is a whole different discipline on its own. When I hear people say take music back into the schools, when we were in school, there was music in the
There's
schools.
still music in schools.
You understand?
How?
That-
Can we
that
specify?
was-
What
was-
what was the music like?
we in association we had music lessons. I remember Mr. Eisen and
you did
there was another woman where they teach us piano and all those things. You understand? They teach piano, they would teach music, they would teach all the treble clef,
clefs.
bass clef.
Yeah.
Every good boy deserves favor, face, all those
As a
things.
core subject for everybody.
Yeah, it
An
was compulsory.
extracurricular
No, it wasn't extracurricular. If you wanted to take it further, it
You
was
do
a
extracurricular.
core, so it was light. It wasn't very, very deep.
And is that what has
Those-
been taken out of the schools now?
last time I
But from
checked,
the
I think
basic
yes.
schools, music
Yes,
per se is
it's
not
been
there,
taken
but in
out.
secondary
Yes.
schools it is.
Look, you
Yes.
see, this
In
is-
secondary schools,
These
yes.
are things I've been telling you guys. We need properly. We have to take one thing at a time.
Exactly.
Properly structure the right questions. So by the time we're done about, let's say, an hour, the Minister of Education knows exactly what we're talking
The
about.
file.
The parliamentarians knows what we're talking about. The judiciary, all the people that matter, the musicians themselves, our parents also know exactly what we're talking about. But Guru, let me quickly say one thing. I've always said that this country, the cocoa farmers, the parliamentarians know as to how much they bring in a year. The rice producers are able to tell. The Makola Trade Association, they are able to tell. Who has been able to tell how much in a year the music industry generates?
Oh my goodness.
Who?
Baba,
Tell
you
you-
had figures.
Who?
You have the figures.
Yeah.
Baba has
Baba has the figures. Baba, is it from?
But my
Yeah.
figures is actually things I subscribe from the PwC.
That's what I was going to.
not from
yeah,
government.
exactly.
But you
there's a
see-
recent one
Yes.
from
But you see,
Yeah.
if you go to Germany now, if you go to America now, they can tell you for live performances alone, from the Janet Jackson, Wan Wine, Beyonce, and Wan Wine. This is how much it generated. When they do the red carpet, they can tell you at Masons the dress Beyonce was wearing that night. They've had about 3,000 or 4,000
Orders.
So the fashion industry will know as to even how much they generated from the concerts
Yeah.
and the clothing the artists were
Yeah.
wearing, the
Yeah.
canvas, the shoes.
Yeah.
They also bring their figures.
Yeah.
The chop bars owners, the restaurants, they will tell you as to how much, because ASCAP can tell you as to how much they've collected from all these
Straight.
straight
That have come in,
from the
yeah.
airlines.
Yeah.
They will tell you how much all the areas Sony has brought, Z-Gram has brought. They will able to tell you as to how much. So when they are making policies about the music industries, they know what exactly.
What
to do.
exactly they are talking about? Okay.
We don't have that. We don't know. So how do we explain that?
No, I
Experience
think
it.
that I think that
Let us-
Where do we
there is-
begin?
It's just the fact that it hasn't seeped into officialdom in terms of the state actually subscribing to it. Of course, for agriculture and co, there are state organizations and the statistical service that undertake it. But with entertainment, media, and stuff like that, there are a lot of private-led research. There's a recent one by PricewaterhouseCoopers
Yeah,
on
PwC.
media entertainment outlook in Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya. You know, and there are projections. In fact, in ASAT, the ones that came out, I was reading last night. There's music streaming revenue in Ghana as at the end of 2021 was $1 million, and it's expected to jump to the PwC predicts that the mobile revenue, which is from streaming, ringback tones, and everything, and all of those things, will shoot out to about $8.1 million in 2022.
Okay, but you
So
see,
all these
I
things
think,
are there,
Sadiq, I
but I
think
mean-
what Uncle Charles is talking about, this is just
No, it's
one
not the state-
aspect.
yeah.
This is just digital.
This is me
But you
who has
see,
taken an interest in these things.
No, but
because
even let's
it helps
even
my job.
look beyond you.
One
Let's
side
even
of-
say it is information that's out there, but it's just one aspect of it. It's just
Yeah.
digital. I have a presentation to make. I've been invited to speak at an event on Tuesday by the Ghana Telecoms Chamber. And there's pertinent information that I've been looking for instance. And you're not even getting the information because we don't put things out there. You understand? For instance, if Charles Amoa Music International Incorporated signed Guru today, they would both not be willing to say how much was involved.
Yeah.
Guru would not come out to say it.
Confidentiality.
Charles Amoa would not come out to say it. But out there in the world, they sign you, they put it out there. This is
not entirely,
you know,
Josh.
but
You know
you
why?
get what I'm
You
saying.
know why?
Generally,
we don't.
you understand?
Just
Why
on top
don't
of my
we?
head, I tell you this. The taxation system is one of look because for example, I give you this.
Wasn't that to factors in?
Because whatever Guru does, if I say that I'm signing him and therefore I'm paying him 100 Ghana cedis and I put it out there, you know why I'm not afraid? Because at the end of the day, I will go to the tax office, do my accounting, what I did with that 100 cedis, and I
You'd
get
have-
my tax
exactly.
returns back.
Exactly.
He would also have to do his account.
Exactly.
So that's what that brings
No
transparency.
problems
Yeah.
about this.
So no problem because the taxation systems does not function
Does not.
as far as the music industry is concerned here. We don't have all that.
Yeah, soon. When Guru is president.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so Guru, this is what you're doing now. You want to help
that's
put the
what I'm
music back
doing.
into
You
the
know,
schools.
I just want people to be inspired about the music we're doing. Most people think musicians are not educated enough, and
Sorry, your mics are still on. Yeah.
and then I really want to change that narrative that they should take some of us also serious, because
Yeah.
in terms of academics we're doing it and we're doing good. And one thing is having that connection with the students and the artists, it brings a sort of a certain feeling to help boost the numbers on the streaming sites that we've been seeing, and also motivate the agenda of projecting Ghana music, because when anything about campus now is about foreign content, majority of the things they consume foreign, else like you be classified as a local dude, you'll be listening to Ghana music, you'll be like, oh there Charlie, listen to this. And I felt so sad because of the regulative body about our music space. The kind of things we consume has really impacted so much. And the scary part is, these are the guys going to move out from campus, and after 4 years they'll be in the corporate world, and your culture will be
Totally lost.
that's it.
It's
So
gone.
to me, we have to start from Genesis, start impacting more knowledge about the music we're doing, and let them feel proud of being a Ghanaian, because everything here looks like we are not organized. And you being an individual in this part of the world, it is solely one side of the whole projection of music. You invest everything yourself, and you sort of like consume everything in a certain
Locally,
space that which
the market
needs
is
to
not
be-
broad.
and it brings out the struggle. You have to register with other PR companies outside Ghana. Why not Ghana? We don't even have a site that you can have a proper Ghanaian listed songs. I know people are trying, like the way the boom play is not even Ghanaian. Are they like?
No, it's not.
Audio mark is not, and we don't have it. And these are all part of the reason why our music is struggling. And
Okay.
to me, being part of them also brings about a certain experience where I'm trying to create a certain entertainment night where we will have the students coming in and enjoy typical Ghanaian music. You know, I'm looking at the whole weeks. If they will give me the chance to organize even for them, I will
You've
do
cut the
that.
times for our weeks,
Yes,
so,
and also making sure. Right now, I've started with some all-white party where the night will be full of Ghana music.
Interesting.
Which is happening at. I'm taking them out of campus because we are now on vacation. 15th July, we will be doing it with some of the Ghanaian celebrities, and also 16th we'll be doing it at Bayview, which is all-white
Okay.
party. But the main agenda is to enjoy Ghana music and see ways, and we're trying to find ways we can help we can have more Ghanaian music on this top 10.
Charts.
Yeah,
and all
so
the
it's
top 100
hard
and
to
all
even
those.
find one or two Ghanaian music, and they are
Solid.
not even playing it on campus.
A lot of
Well.
messages, so many messages today. We're in trouble. This one says, Dada Charles, I share your pain and frustration, but with the kind of leadership Ghana produce, Masu. Look, they don't care. They don't respect the profession. They don't put value on it. And most importantly, you can explain all you want for clarification, but moment you move, it will be in the bin. That is Ghana for you. Everything that's done is against the next election. So I don't quite agree to this one, Nana Kwesi. Look, and something happened yesterday, and I was quite impressed. I wish it would continue. I think, Uncle Charles, in your earlier submissions, you mentioned that all those that are involved in that value chain, including finance minister, yesterday was the first time that I saw finance minister speak at a tourism related event, the relaunch of the National Museum.
Whoa.
Yes, I was shocked, and I thought it was a good man. Oh, okay, this is nice. Finance minister is here. When the parliamentarians have been calling the man, the man is not coming, So I thought that was quite impressive, and I thought it was a good step. And I would want to see more of those. So yes,
there's a connection.
yes, there is some connection, because Charlie, we can't move without the money. There is a connection. So a finance minister gets to understand our space and is willing to help put certain, because imagine there's Quaye Institute here, there's British Council here, there is Barbados is making a lot of inroads here, and they are, look, as I speak, there's going to be a collabo between a Ghanaian act and a Barbadian act, and this is being pushed from Barbados. You understand? So, like Charles is saying, imagine if we had a Ghanaian cultural whatever sitting somewhere that is not a part of the consulate or the embassy. Theirs is to help promote and sell Ghanaian culture. Like these shows, these white parties Guru is talking about. You know, they say, oh, Guru, we like what you did at the Bayview. We want you to come and replicate same in Germany at this pub or at something. You know, like Charles is saying, you don't even need to play to too large a crowd. Play this nightclub here, move here, move here, move here. And that is so this one says okay, where's the devil is a liar, the message disappeared. Americans use the soft power, that is music and movies. Yes, Uncle Charles said that, to sell their country. The greatest power is soft power. Listen to country music and you will hear Alabama, Nashville, etc. That is how you promote tourism. That is Shira from Roman Ridge. Emmanuel Joel Pepra from Kumasi, my brother. He says, I'm excitedly enjoying the show with legendary Charles Amwa. He really speaks impeccable English. GQ, I once heard that Charles Amwa coined the name ethno pop. Yes, he mentioned it earlier on today, which later became corrupted, and it's what we now commonly call Bugger High Life. Please ask him what was his inspiration behind the name coinage, as well as the music genre. You didn't listen from the beginning. You're late. This one says, oh, where's the message? Yes, there it is. Says, good evening, George. I strongly disagree with Chief Mumin, because if Jamaicans decided to jump onto every trend genre of music, Jamaicans would be known for their authentic reggae sound. Trends come and go, but true style is limitless. But isn't that what Chief Mumin said? or Chief?
I mean, which millennial Jamaican musician do you know? Jamaica is on its great glory from the past. But I mean, the point I'm making is not for us to discard.
Yeah.
But my point is that change and evolution is inevitable. But how do we change in such a way that we are still relevant, you know, in the today while still upholding our traditions?
All right.
It's not even an opinion. It's just a fact.
It's just a fact. Yeah. George on Joy. Good afternoon to you and your team. That's Idil Geetha sent that one in. So let me come back to the studio. Uncle again, you've been quiet for a while.
Yeah, listening to the conversation.
Why do some musicians fade?
Oh, times and seasons. Give you an example. You know, when the funk craze first hit up, like Charles was saying, you know, if Charles them, when they were coming up, Charles and George Dacon and co, you know, if they had not come up with what was it called? Bugger High Life.
Their version of funk and pop.
At that particular time, it would have been very difficult for them to, you know, ride along with the established bands that were there at the time, that people had gotten to know. For instance, me, I was groomed in the CK Man's, the big band High Life
Era.
So up to today, when I listen to big band High Life, I get my, you know, my kicks. But because they came up with something new and refreshing, you know, early 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, as a pianist. And Bob James, before he became a jazz funk advocate, was actually a traditional jazz pianist. He had his trio and things like that at the time. And we, at our age at that time, were not into that trio traditional jazz. We got hooked onto jazz through the funk jazz era.
Yep.
Bob James came, Grover Washington came, you know, because we were listening to bands like Kool and the Gang, the Cameos, the Commodores, the Mandrills, back in our time. Those were the bands we were listening to, and they were playing funk. So when the jazz people adopted the funk into the jazz, it was something fresh for us, you know. And you follow Bob James from that time, and Bob James is still relevant today. Why is Bob James still relevant today?
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
his tunes have been sampled
Yeah.
by
One of the
almost
most sampled
every
acts all over the world,
up-and-coming
yeah.
artist. And Bob James is still relevant. And Bob James is in his 80s, you know, but he's still relevant. So you can pose the question. Yes, and still active. He's still touring as we speak today. Currently, he's still touring, going on cruises and stuff like that, you know. Why is he relevant? He is relevant because the content he has is relevant content. You can't run away from the content. So
Because
I
his
believe-
audiences are still alive. Uncle
Yes.
Ken.
Also because of the song.
They die, eventually his memory will die out.
And again,
I don't agree.
Chief, I like the point you've just made.
I don't agree.
That the audiences are still alive,
You need it.
but he is making new
Yes.
audiences.
Exactly.
and again,
Yeah.
also
As
because
he
of
goes
the
along.
sampled content that
Of
carries
course,
him off to a young
you see,
audience.
an artist samples Bob James,
He was even ahead of his
and
time.
you, Sadiq, you
Music.
because you like your music so much, you ask, "What's this? Where is this sampled from?" When you get to know it's a sampled tune,
Yeah.
and then you hear, "Oh, it's sampled from Bob James." Now, if you're a music lover, what do?
You go and search for
go
Bob
and
James.
search Bob
Yes,
James,
yes.
and you listen to Bob James,
Yes.
and he still becomes relevant because you like his stuff. So, George, I think that first and foremost, the music you produce must be quality.
Quality. Okay, that's
one
it.
is a fact.
Uncle Ken says must be quality. Charles, I'm coming to you, and there's a message for you from my brother Daniel Amwating. He's listening to us all the way from, I don't know whether now he's in Italy or Spain or Germany or.
He's supposed to be in France.
No, but the match they finished. They,
Yeah, but
they
he's
scored
still in
you.
France.
No, he left France.
Ah,
Last
you
time
mean
I
they
checked, it
scored
was in.
African names?
Yes, they scored
They
them.
scored
So
who?
the
Yeah,
African
yeah,
names
yeah.
lose.
Liverpool, they lose. You know. So now I don't know where he
So
is.
he's working alone in
He's
Italy.
working alone in Europe. We just pray he doesn't end up in Ukraine somewhere. This one says, please ask Uncle Charles Amwa, was color red his favorite color? In almost all his outfits on stage, and other times I used to see the color red featuring some way, somehow. Example, his shirt, his belt, his shoe, his trousers or pants. Charlie, Charles Amwa be legend though, and I followed him. Kudos to a legend. Please, was color red your favorite color?
Not really, but I remember there was this lady at EMI. She would always say, "Put Charles in red." You know, I used to laugh, but for some reason she thought that I looked good on stage with red. I didn't know, but for some reason I don't know.
Red
there
is
were
good.
It's a striking color.
Don't worry, red is my favorite
I
color
don't
anyway.
know,
It's a good color.
Anyway.
But why do musicians fade? Because look, you have managed to sustain it. Guru has managed to sustain it. The new school, they know Guru. The old people, I mean, Guru has been around for a while. What? How many years? 15 years?
15.
Yeah, 15 years. That's quite a while. You understand? So why do musicians fade?
This is a very loaded question. Very, very loaded question. And I keep telling you, that's why I also quit coming to you. You see, you asked me such a question, and let me tell you this. To break it down,
The time is not enough.
we might need about 3 episodes to really
We can
get into
continue
this.
next week.
Because first and foremost, it begins with the songwriting. Why is Sewa Koto relevant today? Listen to the content of Sewa Koto. Each statement is a whole book. Each line. Anka nyen say ye bre.
Yeah, bro.
Anka hovel is in kwa. Anka etuo. If you break it down, each line is a whole book on its own.
Yeah. No,
Why is Mansa Uma working? Why is Akoti Brofu working? Why is that the Ramblers, the song from the Ramblers to the Hurus are working? Akwankwatia from Lidiodo is working. Ask yourself, all these songs.
Hey,
why
that
are
same
they
is working.
When a man loves a woman, why are those songs working? Listen to even the titles. The titles they give to the songs. The title already sticks in your ear. When you take a pen and paper to write a song, the song titles already speaks on its own.
Oh, broad.
Then the lyrical contents, it must be like an everyday life. Everyday life. If you take Sisam Suban, for example, you grow until your dying day. Except you live it. You live in it. Then comes to the production, just as Ken said. What goes into production? The studio production, then the horn arrangements, the mixing, the mastering, the this, the that, and that, and then the artist image. You know, years back when you go to the record shop, you point to say, immediately you see the record cover, you say, Papa, you ever mean the image catches you.
Yes.
Then the stage performance. Do you know what it takes before an artist to go and perform live? Somebody just met me out there and said, Uncle, your bobo should be a 4 months time. You say do can so your carpet band be and I'm saying a carpet band. Maybe if they are not my kind of musicians.
Yes, exactly.
He has no idea what it takes for an artist to have a band. The preparation. I take about 6 months, minimum 6 months to rehearse
Yeah.
with my band. The mixer guy has to be there so that he knows when the guitar solo is going to be played. But I see in Ghana sometimes the guy finishes playing the guitar solo before they push the faders.
Yeah.
The mixing has to be there. The engineers has to be there. The lighting guys has to be there. So when the summit of starts, the whole place is dark. Then and it takes about 6 months to a year to prepare for such concerts. Seriously, we joking. Now put the songwriting and all these things down. I've spoken about the image. There are no systems and structures in the music industry in Ghana. Why are you going to perform? But if the artist could perform, let's say, twice, 3 times in a week, that's where even you experiment with some of the new songs that you've written. As you performing your hit song, you experiment with the other song. So when you go back to the studio, you can say, okay, let's make these changes here and there. We don't have all these places. It is a Ghana Music Award. That's
Yeah,
it.
baby,
You
yeah,
never
yeah,
perform.
perform.
Or unless MTN or whoever is organizing something. How do you record an album without live performances? How does the government encourage businessmen, give them tax-free holidays to establish places for live performances? And you want a tourist to come, he goes to Cape Coast and watch the castle and that's it? He goes away with his money? Go to Switzerland. I used to perform in Switzerland. It's only hotels and pubs. You perform from one place and you spend your whole money. You spend 1 week, they spend your whole money. If I go to Cape Coast, where am I going to spend my money? Watch Cape Coast Castle and that's it.
Kakumpak.
And Kakum. So all these things need to be played. The proper system and structures for the music industry has to be there. It has to be there. The media, and even if I take the issue of Payola, let me give you why I again. Let's talk about Payola for a minute. Why is it that in those countries Payola is a criminal law? Because, for example, if you have 100 artists and only 10 can pay Payola, it means 90 of them
90 are dead.
are jobless. They have wives, they have children, they have mothers to take care of, there are other families to take care of. So if one artist has about 2 or 3 people, multiply by 90. And if they are jobless and so, they might take drugs, they might get into prostitution, they might be criminals, all kinds of things. That becomes a burden on the society. Now you look at all these aspects. First and foremost, music is one of the tools that depicts the people, the culture and the traditions of
The people.
Now, out of these 90 musicians, they are jobless and so only 10 pay. Now, supposedly, if the other 90s are working, how much money can they make in a week? For example, each of them are performing, let's say, 3-4 gigs a day. Wouldn't they be paying tax? You remember the time we were playing at Tiptoe Gardens? The internal revenue used to come over there.
Yeah.
They'll come and collect the taxes.
Yes.
I remember those days
Yeah.
in Kumasi, wherever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are talking about taxation.
They still do.
The jobs are not
They
there.
still
And
do.
we're
They
talking-
still do.
So if you bring back all these things, people are working. And guess what? There was this people. Sorry. When there's a live show, people sell wapi, chewing gum. There's these young guys that will be selling all this kind of stuff. Somebody will be cooking rice, food, kelewele or whatever throughout the entire night. The taxi drivers will be working throughout the entire night. The breweries will be making their money, and the government will be taxing all these various people.
It's true.
The government will be taxing all these various people. You understand? And I remember those days, people from the ministries will come and there was something we call the afternoon jump. At 3 p.m. they will come to Tiptoe Gardens or to Wato or Metropole, dance for about an hour, and go back.
Working day.
Working day.
Wow.
Release their stress.
Just Wato was opened at 12.
Wow.
12.
It means
12.
you in those days.
By 1 o'clock,
So your lunch break, you go for your lunch break at Wato.
there'll be no place for you to. There's no even space for you to. If you
Wow.
Just don't get it down time. And then you come and finish in the evening.
Afternoon dance.
Yeah, make a show.
Afternoon jump.
Allah.
So today I can condemn them at age.
I
So
swear.
they tell you that we are playing.
So now they say, okay,
had fun.
for all these people to function, for government to make money from all these people, pay their taxes, and vibrant entertainment industry and all that. Let's pass this Payola law. Now comes the interesting part of the whole thing. Let's say, for example, George works with multimedia, and for some reason he's less paid. He doesn't make more money. That's the reason why he's taking Payola. So we can create a system whereby if Guru is performing, is touring, let's say Takrady, he comes to multimedia, sign a contract with multimedia. For out of every ticket, let's say 100 Ghana cedis, multimedia gets, let's say 20% or 30%
or 10% or whatever.
and then out of that 30%, George gets 10%.
Oh, okay.
So why would George then take Payola?
Okay, that makes sense.
So when the train gets to Kumasi, the Kumasi radio stations of Joy FM also
They take over.
So they all be making money. Guru will be making money. Multimedia will be making money.
The DJ will be making money.
The DJ will be making money, and the DJ knows that every weekend be our 2-3 shows be our or them, and Coca-Cola will be sponsoring, and then the Minister of Finance will put laws and measures in place whereby they get their returns back, the taxes returns. If we don't put the system in place, now you see why. Then you create laws like Payola as criminal laws, and then so these are things we need really.
So these are some of the things that kill artists.
Exactly.
That make it impossible for some of them to survive, and they fade out quicker.
And then another thing too, what Berry Gordy will call power, fame, and fortune. In Ghana, when the artist sees himself on TV and radio, will arrive.
Asa.
Or we power, fame, and fortune.
Mami abna measure me.
Or no, he on the take bill, no one for baby, and he's drinking here and there. He's the whole night he's not working on his songs. He's not spending time in the studio with friends here and there, and that and that and that and then he gets into trouble. Every radio station or Kasa baby, he gets into trouble on social media. He will say, and always in trouble. Power, fame, and fortune.
Another thing that kills them.
Another. As for that one, there is a serious
generational
solid. Let me go to the phone line. I've got our brother Nathaniel on the line who wants to contribute. He says he likes the things that we are saying here, so he wants to contribute. Manche.
No.
Bawo Sunday.
Thank you. I think that any person in the space of policy formulation, direction, and execution should pay the legendary Charles Amoah for the kinds of contributions that he's made for this show or on this show. I got off the radio a few hours ago, and because of my movement, I for some reason have caught certain portions of the presentation that Charles Amoah has made. So the big question we're asking ourselves here, George, is what have we done as a collective within this arts and entertainment industry to protect creativity and to allow the people who create content to make the most out of it? Look, I was in Cairo, Egypt a couple of weeks ago, okay? And to my surprise, an event that was being organized, or an event that had been paid for by a Ghanaian, had an element of a Ghanaian, keyboardist stroke, bandsman stroke artist who wanted to perform at the party. And guess what? The hotel said that there was a law in Egypt that barred any foreigner to just come in directly, to just come and perform just like that. And that the hotel had to, yes, George, they had to pay an extra tax on the performance that the foreigner was coming to do there. And my question
wait, hold on. Was this a commercial event or a private event?
This was a private event, George.
Wow.
A private event. And so you see, we're sitting here, we've opened our market, all in the name of all of these trade treaties and all of that, and we've opened up our market and we've made it a fertile ground for artists who are not known to become known within the shortest period of time. And the biggest beneficiary of all of this is our brothers and sisters from Nigeria. And George, the question you need to ask yourself is, how receptive is the Nigerian market to what we produce and the people from our side of town? It is sad. George, you and I were on a set a few days ago.
Yeah.
And when you left us, we had a conversation about the same subject which is being discussed today. And we're asking ourselves the very simple question. what is it that we are also benefiting from the markets that we're contributing to so actively or so unconsciously? And the question, the answer is zilch. Zilch, George. And so we need to start looking at how we can create good content, sustainable content around all of these things so that we can make the money. Look, Kennedy Japan, you can love him or hate him, but I want this to go on record. I do not agree with everything that Honorable Kennedy Japan says, but if there's anything I love him for, and I love him for to bits, is the fact that he's an amazing entrepreneur, and some of the ideas he churns out are wonderful. Recently, you heard him say that he wanted to stand for president. Well, some may think that, oh, this guy, it's a laughable idea. However, one of the things he said, which was very instructive, was that we have to start our development on the tourism industry. Somebody once again may think that it is a joke. But once again, let me just refer to Cairo, Egypt, that I visited a few weeks ago. Look, what do they have? They've got the pyramids and they've got the Nile. Only the pyramids and the Nile. I don't even want to go into the museums and all of those other places or all of those other monumental, structures that they have in their country. And George, they are milking it like nobody's business. Unfortunately, I don't immediately have the statistics to back all of this, but I'm just looking at, I'm just doing immediate, numbers and what I see physically from the period that I was there. The people who had come from North America, from South America, from Asia, from other parts of Africa. And you're asking yourself, if this continues for the next week, the next month, do you know how much in terms of, foreign exchange is going to come into this country?
Yeah.
So, George, it's a very simple thing. Let me just quickly wrap this up. We need to create good enough content around the monuments that we have in this country. And they include, the Cape Coast Castle, the Elmina Castle, and all of that. So that when somebody wants to visit Ghana for 1 week, they know that they're driving into the central region or to the western region, and they know that I'll do X, X, and Y on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I would have made the most out of my visit to Ghana. Away from that as well, we need to start thinking about how receptive other markets are being to what we are doing. If we're able to answer that question, which is no, we're not making anything from them, then we need to start thinking about how we ourselves can create the sub-economy that can help our own content and can help us to develop our own selves. It's as simple as that. Because Guru should be able to sit in this country, here in Ghana, and make good enough money.
Solid.
Guru should sit right here. From the kinds of accounts that the legendary Charles Amwa has said, we should be able to sit right here in this country. Floyd Mayweather Jr. stayed in America and became a global phenomenon. So we should be able to see that and do that. And our brothers and sisters from Nigeria have given us the way. They have shown us the way. Go to DSTV now and go and see the number of Africa Magic channels and tell me how many of them are not Nigerian.
Thank you very much, Nan.
This
I
is
think
the time,
the point is very clear. Thank you very much. And that's my brother Nathaniel Ato, right here with us at the Multimedia Group. they call it. Before then, you heard Puli, Shilling Killing. I love that one. The station is Joy 99.7 FM. Check with your time. It's 5:30, some 30 more minutes, then we're out of here. Our WhatsApp line is 055-111-1997. It's Showbiz A to Z. Proudly brought to you by Ghana's most reliable mobile telecommunications company. That's MTN. And also special thanks to High Five Chocolate from Casapreco Company Limited. Yep.
Haters, what to be the later when I come out. Rough and smooth, now Pop on my top to my job, Versace. You be bend down with Mr. Cratchy. So you used to do, I get you. You used to do, but I'm the biggest. If God don't bless you, bar on one. Anybody who go try you, prophet one.
Now there's 100 more reasons to buy airtime with MTN Momo. You're probably asking why. Well, I'll tell you why. It's really simple. Momo is giving you back 100% bonus whenever you buy airtime from your wallet. Now that's 2 times the airtime you need. You can also schedule your airtime purchase of any amount daily, weekly or monthly by just dialing *170# option 3 and follow the process, or simply dial *170*311#, and that's gonna give you a superb airtime purchase experience. So whether you're scheduling tomorrow's airtime today or buying airtime when you need it on your *170# or *170*311#, you get 100% bonus airtime, so you can make twice as many calls and catch up with just only on MTN Momo. Now this Father's Day is going to be quite exciting right here on the multimedia channels. I go to all fathers repping the real daddy code, which says be daddy, be present. Now this year your superstation Joy 99.7 FM is embarking on a campaign to celebrate fathers between ages 22 to 45 who are present in the lives of their children the best way they can be. Now these fathers are attending antenatal care, taking their children for weighing, mother care, shopping, guiding the kids through all their developmental stages. And here's how you can be a part of the campaign. Simply share photos of some of those amazing moments with your children with us via WhatsApp console on 055-111-1997. Tell us how important and how gratifying it is to be involved and hands-on in your children's lives. And finally, the most importantly, a message stating your specific real daddy code with all fathers out there. The real daddy code, be daddy, be you. Mine daddy code is pretty simple. Guide them, don't gag them. Let them talk. Pentecost Eyes, a religious broadcast program sponsored by the Church of Pentecost, comes your way every Monday at 9:30 p.m. with the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyameche. It's only on Joy 99.7 FM. Make sure you catch it this Monday. Yes, Apostle Nyameche is going to bring you life transforming truth that nourishes the soul, ignites passion, and restores hope in the nations. The Church of Pentecost, we're possessing the nations for the Lord. Can I get an amen? So we've heard from Uncle Ken, we've heard from Uncle Charles Amwa. I'm gonna bring Sadiq Abdullah Abu into the conversations. Then we'll also hear from Chief Momen and Guru. Why do artists fail? Sadiq, the question is yours. So, I mean, you have also worked with a lot of artists, and we've met this country. We know. Let's open Sadiq's microphone, please.
Uncle Ken is giving us some insight.
Some insight, some solid history.
Okay, top time.
Be legend,
Super legend.
Smooching the inside.
No, this one will tell you. This one is meant for off air.
So why did you put it on?
Just whetting the appetite.
Godfather.
Uncle Ken, you want to share with the listeners?
No. This one
exclusive.
Sadiq, but this conversation for analysis.
Why do artists fade? I mean, from your experience, you've encountered many of them. Why do you think they fade?
Well, a number of factors. I think some of the reasons have been detailed by Uncle Ken and Uncle Charles.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean the creative process in terms of writing the song is but very important. But we also need to, this point that Uncle Ken has always said, when I say it's a generational thing, and he sums it up in times and seasons as well. Of course. I've always made the point here, at every point in time, the big active users or patrons of entertainment experiences are always between a certain age. Active. And they are huge. The activity with the music, or they are patronizing what's it called, of the entertainment experience is what keeps the on trend. It's usually between 16 to 24. They are the active and they are big. Extended of that active user base is others as well, between 24 to about 34. Now, from your late 20s going, you begin to become passive because obviously life happens to you. There's a number of times. So if you used to spend a lot more time using the music within a certain particular age, when you are growing and the music life begins to happen to you, it begins to decrease and everything, you know. Now, these active users, at every point in time, you would have a generation within the 16 to 24, and you would have some that will grow out of it. Now, when there's a new active user base, their orientation, their lifestyle, their demographics, and a number of things indicate their preferences and everything. These people would also have their own heroes and their own stars. In fact, even the language and everything that you factor into your songs and everything will continue to, it will determine if it appeals to them or resonates to them or not. That explains why in certain market, for instance, when you are probably aging as an artist and the number of things is changing, your mindset and stuff like that, they like to engage a lot of songwriters, younger songwriters that understand the themes of the day and will continue to write things for them. You know, Uncle Charles spoke about how even the titling of the song and everything, it's written to achieve a certain effect with that active user base and every the intended effect for the future. So all these things are factored in. Now, when you actually even look at it now, when I ask you who are the top guys, you mentioned the three usual suspects, Sarkodie, Chatawale and everything, but instructively in the last 2 to 3 years, their numbers as against the new kids on the block, the young ones, has been declining.
That's true.
The new kids on the block are because there's a growing Gen Z audience who are active users of the music today, and they are heroes for today that are coming to the Black Sherries of the world, the Camidos of the world, the Kiddies and the Kwame Eugens, and they are big. You know, so it's the activity with the music in terms of what you're streaming, what you're listening to, and everything that's actually even today dictating what you're actually having to play on radio, because you need to harness a big user base for advertisers. So that particular whole generational thing and how you move out of it and everything also plays a part in it. And today even, it's become very, excuse my language, very crazy. Previously, where we're discovering there was a generation where between that particular period, for us, where we're discovering our music was radio. But today, for these Gen Zs, they are discovering their music from TikTok and Trailer. You know, because they are stuck there. Because these were born, now the Gen Zs, mind you, are the people that were born between 96 till now. So if in 2000 you're in Legon, your brother in Peking where they born him, by now he's 22 years. He's an active music user. He spends more time listening to the music, bantering on the music, who is hot, who is not, even than you. Even you that's actually been working with music. Because they've got a lot of time. He's listening online because he was born in a tech. He was born in his tech savvy. Because by the time he was about 10 years, he probably would have started using. My son is 5 years. He takes my iPhone. He goes inside.
They know where to go.
YouTube
they know where to go. They know
what's up.
They know where to go.
Yeah, so he's growing up from a certain generation that is imbibing this. By the time, look, there was a time Medica came on the show and we asked him whether he's released a song on a CD before. He said no. You remember?
I remember.
Late 20s. Black
Sherif,
the likes of Black Sherif and Co hadn't actually even released a song or given a song to a DJ on a pen drive.
They don't even know.
Because per their generation, he does the song right straight from the studio. He can airdrop it to his MacBook. From the MacBook, immediately he sends it to the aggregator. He sends it to the aggregator, who schedules it across all the streaming or the platforms and everything, and then that's it straight. If he has to give it to you, he can send you a link straight. Just take it, download it immediately. He can actually even airdrop it on his phone to you and all of those things. So this Gen Z audience is totally different, and if you are not in tune with them, you've got to find a way. So I'm glad Uncle Ken mentioned was it the jazz artist? Was it Bob James or something? That's why I intentionally asked that, Uncle Ken, is it also because of the sampling? Because sampling has a way of extending your relevance. Burna Boy has been sampling Angelique Kidjo a lot. He's been sampling Fela a lot. D'banj also sampled Fela. A number of them. So for those of us that probably didn't grow with Fela, at every point in time when you listen to D'banj, there will be a lot of talkability around how he sampled a Fela song and everything. It takes you back. Then there's in fact, Burna Boys come back massively from about 2018. A lot of the things you hear, if you play the song, they'll show you the particular fella song. So it got a lot of younger following that Burna Boy had to also fall in love with some of those fellas and everything. Again, in the more matured market, beyond sampling, movies find a way to extend, and that's why the record labels do not play with their catalog, the publishing part of it, because they always look. They have people whose job it is to actually pitch to studios music, a catalog of music that they can use in their movies, and sometimes there's an intent about on that, because today when I'm watching, you know that the South African jazz songs,
the one you sent
I
me.
said, do you know how I discovered it?
How did you discover?
There's a series
the
on
artist?
Netflix
Okay, yes,
called
you said.
Savage Beauty.
Right.
South African. There's at every point, and they had the scoring was done so right that at every point in time when I'm listening and the scene and the scoring it matched. All I did was Shazam. Then he introduced me to the artist. I go, I find out more, and then I kept on checking and finding artists, and I was like, no, this song's Uncle Ken will love it, and I said it to him. So there are various different ways to extend it, but you need the insight. You need to understand where you are today. Often it's more mature market because the insights on how to enable and extend the reach sat with the labels. Them own because they are investing in the catalog. So they found a way to ensure that the catalog they've invested in, which is their property, because mind you, if they invest in 10 artists, it's only probably one that will be able to recoup the investment. The other 9 artists, unless they give them amnesty at a certain point in time, they've got to recoup the investment before you begin to earn on the music. Of course, you earn your royalties and stuff like that. But for the label, even if they do not make the money on the 9, they understand one thing: what they've produced, they own the economic rights to it. Is their property. So they'll put in extra strategies to ensure that these songs continue to stay relevant, so they can make their money back. And in so doing, there's a byproduct that enables the talents, because the understanding stays there. But in markets where you have a lot of independent artists, unless an independent artist is that insightful to take a long ball, my father says long ball, learn to play, because when I was coming up in this, my father used to do that thing with me. He says, learn to play long balls. He continuously asks you, 5 years from today, where do you want to be? 2 years from today, what do you want to be? So I learned to think of things in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And so when you think about it and you see the line, you have that line of sight, you begin to plan. So you come to probably realize that by 35 or 37, if I'm probably maybe I probably may not resonate to the Gen Zs like what's it called? Maybe Black Sheriff
might, yeah.
But at that point, what do I do?
So you have to adapt very
so you
quickly.
begin
So
to-
that's one of the reasons. Okay, yes. No, yes, he's done. I'm going straight on to Guru. Guru,
Because
I mean, you are a musician.
I wanted to say
you know.
something. Let me say.
Oh, okay.
no, he didn't understand what I
No,
said.
you didn't. That's why you didn't
I said,
understand.
Ehani
Ochekpa.
Ochekpa.
Yeah.
That's your field.
Yes. So you are.
You know, and I have learned a lot from Baba
Yes.
when it comes to the digital field, you know, and the way the methods that they use.
Let me bring Guru into the conversation. We're running out of time now. Guru, I mean, you are a musician. A lot of the people that you started with 15 years ago are not here. Enough from sound. Why do you think it's so? And how have you been able to?
It's true, you know, this whole thing goes with a whole lot, and it's the lifestyle.
Okay.
Like what Sadiq was saying, it's all about projections, strategy, plans. These are the minor things.
Yeah.
But it comes back to the quality. You need to stay unique, different. You see, this side of the world is very competitive. Music, it be gamed and they play like for pitch top. This is a serious business.
Yeah.
And it deals with serious people. You can't mix this talent with family and friends. No, they don't even understand. And before you can grow from a certain stage or how to achieve a certain goal, you have to be consistent. And being consistent, it'll be easy.
That's right.
You need to be creative. You have to be ahead of your time. Like always project like 5, at least the minimum is 5 years, or project 10 years. Maybe I did a little bit of marketing when I was in university 2007. So most of the theories were done, and impacting it into real life, that's when I changed
the game.
Switched from school to just being on the field. So we started with rap, started selling ourselves because there were no like any social media, and it was the early stages of it. Because I was here before Facebook came and the Twitters, and it was difficult. Now it took a guy to register my account.
Your account for you.
And that one self, they were at this why go put my name for here? And the guy was doing me good.
Yeah.
But funny enough,
Yes.
I took the whole logins and then started projecting stuff. And because that time people know they understand, we had like 2 million social media activists on every platform, and even to get 500 people on
to follow you
Facebook self, if your brothers and your sisters they will start. And with the music side, it was so difficult in such a way that we weren't even projecting our content through it. But people, the real loved ones, started even having like owning. There were few was it Android phones?
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy even logging into anything. So with me as an artist, I started impacting more on the grounds, building a certain core of fans, and that was when we're doing more of the bless the mics.
Okay.
I'll be
Bless the
doing.
mic, yeah.
So you were making various appearances, like one of the things
Yes.
Uncle Charles mentioned earlier on.
Ours was on the radio.
Okay.
And with the grounds, it was different.
Yeah.
Because you be rapper, people have no one listen to you.
Yeah.
And you have to be more creative and know what the people want. Knowing that
Then you can
is
rap
the
about
major
it.
key. And after I was able to do all that, then the whole big tune came. That's Kasiebo with Top Raffle.
Yeah.
That also gave me another mileage. Like the masses started patronizing, looking for the brand guru. Then I started this whole journey in 2001. I recorded my first album in 2002.
Wow.
So if I'm to compare my music mates, is Quaye and Saminis.
Yeah.
But I never had a chance to come out with an album or anything. So I have to change the whole strategy. Now, fast forward. Now then 2010, I realized in the next 5-10 years, this whole game will change. So I have to start representing my culture in terms of the ingenious side of my Ghana music. Then I started implementing, bringing in new tones of the conquest and everything. Start switching from the hip hop a little bit, because rappers they rap on hardcore beats. After my trip to South Africa, I realized there was experience that I had about some performances. I was just rapping, and Diamond Licious just came on stage with some bouncy francophone vibe, and everybody they don't even understand the song, and he shut down the whole place. No.
But that's
For
the
our own
thing.
Diamond for Ghana here. So coming back, I was like, okay, with the hip hop, we will do it, but I must find a way. Then I came out with La Paz Toyota, gave me a big intro, and shut everywhere down. Even in Nigeria, it took like 8 months
On the charts.
consistent on the chart, and that was one of the few lessons I had. And I realized this game, you have to be consistent, and being consistent, you have to find what the people would want.
What the people would
in the
want.
next
Then you
5
serve
years.
it to them.
And
Okay.
looking at that, it's very challenging. Doing that takes a risk.
Yeah.
And when you change your style, you need big budget.
To push it.
Thank you.
Else, it kills you.
It kills you. That was a very solid point there. Let me bring Chief into the conversation. We're totally out of time, but let's hear you. Yes.
So then our good friend Kalampa of UNESCO.
Kalampa.
Yes,
Okay, what's he
just sent
saying?
me some messages
Oh, okay.
of the work that UNESCO is doing, in supporting the culture and the creative industry.
Oh, great,
So he
great.
definitely believes that Ghana's tourism is based on our culture, heritage, and creativity, and the investment needs to go into these areas to show up tourism. George, let me take it from a philosophical and probably an anthropological point of view.
Let's just come inside.
Yeah, I swear.
This is what the musician's lifespan.
Yes.
Why do some talents fade? The truth about life is that all talent would eventually fade. There isn't enough.
I don't agree.
All talent would
don't agree.
eventually. Let me make my point.
Okay,
Let me
make your
build
point.
it. All
Yeah.
talents would eventually fade, because immortality is not guaranteed to any person or any memory. That is just the real fact. Now let me take it. I'm building a point from anthropology, right?
Go ahead.
Pre-colonial times, culture was communally owned. So the musics for our festivals and our traditions was not by one person owned, it was by several people. So even that, we didn't have those artists who would cross over generations. Your generation will remember the person who composed it and all of that. That person may survive one or two, but eventually, right now, if you ask us who composed these festival songs, nobody would know, because that's the way culture. Post-colonial into modern times, we now have the tools to preserve, right? The tools of preservation are relatively new if you look at the lifespan of human memory with the emergence of technology. But as years go by, we are producing millions and millions into billions of content. The human attention span is not enough at any given moment to recognize all the brilliance through history. So just a few would always, rise up. And that's the point that Sadiq was making. That is a generational thing. It doesn't mean that the generations that produce music in a particular generation were not good enough, or they didn't produce quality. A few of them would transition. Not everybody, because already this Gen Z is concentrating on their stars. They have enough attention span to focus on a few who may cross over, but eventually that crossover artist, after a couple of generations, everybody will forget them, even if we have tools of preservation. So my point is that yes, is indeed you can do your work to postpone or to extend your lifespan as much as possible, but eventually you would die off. And I'll give one example using, not an example, so there's a Disney animation called Coco that I love very much, inspired by the Mexican Day of the Dead. And the concept is that when you die and you transition to the land of the dead,
side,
your soul is still alive.
Yeah.
So as long as people remember you, so your current family remembers you, they tell your story to the next generation, they probably remember you, so you stay alive. But once the last person who remembered you died, your memory is dead.
It's gone.
So once there are still people who remember these songs, some of us are still fond of, high life music, that Lumbes and co. His song will continue to ring. But with the passage of time, that number would decrease. And when we no longer have a lot of people who remember a particular artist, that artist will die from memory. So that's just my philosophical input.
Solid.
But by all means, let us do as much as possible to extend our lifespan.
I'm out of time, but we'll expand it maybe next week. Charles, let me come to you. So this new song, Simply the Best. Those of us who want to get it, where can we get it? How can we get it and all that? Because now we don't know where to buy CD anymore.
It's on all the digital platforms.
The digital platforms, okay.
Spotify,
okay.
Apple.
It's on Apple?
Everywhere.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
That's great.
And there's another one too. Not only the
Yes.
It's another one too.
Yes.
Supernatural thing as well.
Supernatural thing.
And
Good.
the video is on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Simply the Best videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Just do you remember who had a hit Supernatural thing?
Oh yes.
Back in the Benny King. That's right.
Okay.
Some more songs on Boom Play.
No, they're there. No, Charles Samuel is a legend though. But gentlemen, I'll say thank you very much. Gentlemen, we're going, but very quickly. Look, we are this year for the first time. We are trying to bring some relevance to Father's Day. And I enjoy Mother's Day. Why not so?
I mean, why so? Why
not so?
Force? If you have to
we are not forcing it.
It means then it's not.
No, we are not forcing it. The Mother's Day thing, nobody forces it. There are things that we do because somebody takes initiative.
No, the way how did that happen?
That's the point.
No. So we are taking initiative. Nobody is forcing it. It's initiative.
Let's hear.
So we are, trying to celebrate that by basically just sharing your code. It's not like we are going to gather somewhere and party. Just share your real daddy code. Mine, for me, is very simple. Guide
Why
them.
are you reading yours first?
Guide them. Don't gag them.
Okay,
guide
them.
Don't gag them.
So
Allow the children to
So if
speak.
you don't have a child, you are not allowed to comment.
Oh, you can comment too. If your dad, maybe something your dad shared with you. So Uncle Ken, let me start with you. What's your real daddy code?
No, I'm not going to comment because you know why? Because you Joy FM people said it is for only people up to 45 years.
Discrimination comes
above 45 years. So why Samara.
I agree with you, Uncle Ken. At least I stand with Uncle Ken.
Yes.
Uncle Charles, any real daddy code
above
want to share,
24.
we should push it.
The coalition of fathers
Push it
above
to
45.
Sadiq, yes, your real daddy code.
What do you mean by the real daddy code?
Yeah, what is it that you share with your kids, or something that subtly you impart into them that you're using to guide them? Mine, like when I said Uncle Ken didn't understand why I started with mine, just to give you a guide.
No,
my number one principle is guide them, don't gag them.
Yeah.
Allow your children to speak, but guide them on the right path.
I also do that. Allow them to ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
Do not like anybody shutting them down.
Yeah.
Asking questions
and arise and shine.
Yeah.
And we take a lot of work.
You take a lot of work. That's solid.
Particularly on
That's good.
Sunday evenings. We take a lot. My Sunday evening is always spent with them. And also there are a lot of content. I actually watch content with them.
Okay, that's good. Guru.
Hey, we have many dodo. Where's the visa?
You'll give them the time to grow. Charlie, gentlemen, thank you very much.
No, George, please, just before you go.
Yes.
I just got a text message from Ken Ashigbe.
Okay.
And Ken says, I am so upset with Joy FM about the discriminatory Father's Day
Fathers about 45.
We're in trouble.
Thing. It's ridiculous. Why
do you cut it at 45?
Cut it at 45.
What is cut at 45?
I think the idea, they said fathers from 25 to 45.
To 45.
Okay. I think the idea is that it is probably believed that
they are
fathers above,
users.
fathers above 45 usually, you see, when you cross 45, nyansa befie. So a lot of them are,
Don't try and defend this.
Again, let me help you. The bottom line is the big active users of Joy FM, obviously, 25 to 45. Extended audience is 45 to
them.
The show was produced by that show was produced by Philip Nye and Anita Tay. Thank you very much, Crispy. Everybody else who's Uncle Charles Samwa, thank you very much. Uncle Ken, thank you very much. Sadiq, thank you very much. Guru, thank you very much. And Chief Moment, thank you very much. It's been a great show, and I see so many of your messages. Let me see if I can take a few of them before we go. This one says, oh dear. This one says, Charles, so good to hear from you today. You've been a fan for many years, and you still are. I first met you on. I first met you one through your uncle, Mr. Ochre, District Director of Education at Driaso, Dichamso, in the 90s. I was so fascinated by your hair then. I think it was Jerry Kells. Do you still have it on? How about Mr. Ochre, your uncle? Is he still around? Is he around? He's around. He passed. Oh, deepest condolence. Okay, and then this one says what's this one? The devil is a liar. Okay, this one says, my daddy code is be an example. Hi, George. Once again, you see, the main reason why Ghanaian musicians nowadays fade out is simple. Just as Uncle Charles is saying. One, there's no patience for the writing and whole production of the songs these days. Secondly, if it's about gospel music, there's no waiting on the Lord for the inspiration to make the songs, all because of today's trending. Please, when Dr. Alban did sing Hallelujah, I don't think there was any inspiration from anywhere. Everyone wants to trend, hence no patience for quality songs productions. Neni from Winneba sent that one in. Okay, so we're out of time. My name is Josh Quaye. Special thanks. We also had Tracy and Ezekiel. Yes. And congratulations to Stone Boy, still at #1 with Therapy. Catch me again on Monday evening for another exciting edition of The Late